Geeks Gone Raw.
You don't have the Dutch angle this time.
So, why are we zooming if we only got 4?
We do have 4.
If we only have 4, I thought we only do Zoom if we had more than 4.
Well, we did it last time and it actually worked pretty well, so.
Okay, I ain't tripping. All right, let me turn my light on. Illuminate.
There you go.
Name the movie.
Name a movie?
The movie, Illuminate.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know the movie? No one knows the movie I'm talking about.
Don't know the movie.
Demolition Man.
It's been so long since I've seen that.
Really? Oh, no.
Yeah, when Simon reprogrammed the head dude's lights, and when he let Simon out, and then Simon showed up, and he tried to turn the lights on, and Simon was sitting in there in the chair, and he said illuminate and deluminate. He changed the.
Right, to his own settings. Yeah, to him.
Yep.
That's right. All I can think of is Taco Bell and how I got to go get me a Mexican pizza before they stop selling those.
Right.
Apparently, franchise Taco Bells are already stopping buying the tortillas because they're so expensive. And so even though the corporate's not ending it, depending on where you live and who owns the Taco Bells around there, Mexican pizza is a thing of the past. And I hate to admit that I only want it because I know it's going away.
Exactly. I did not want a Mexican pizza until I found out they were going away. And I didn't care at all. Like, no care in the world. Get a brother a double chalupa and I'm good.
There we go. They took away the double decker, but they kind of gave us a replacement, so I'm kind of good with it. And I don't know why I care, but I care.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this is the gamer culture or like the COVID culture, whichever one you want to think. It's like, oh shit, I can't get something. I'm gonna go get it right now. I'm gonna get a lot of them.
Yeah, it's like the people who were like really wanted to play Alpha Protocol when it got taken off of Steam.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
like it got taken off of Steam. And it was like, you do realize that Alpha Protocol is a piece of shit game, right? Like,
now, hold on.
It's a shit game. Well,
I love that game.
There's tons of technical issues. Like,
what game are we talking about?
Alpha Protocol.
Oh.
That game technically is terrible. Narratively, it's really interesting, but technically, it's dog shit.
Okay, I'll give you that. I also have been talking to people with like Avengers, and we don't have to get into it because I haven't been playing Avengers, but people are like ranting on Twitter, and I don't even know why I engage, but I do. And they're like, so if this game sucks so bad and it's getting such horrible reviews, why is everyone playing it? And I said, because there is this fundamental disconnect between a game that's good and a game that you like playing. And
there's also a fundamental disconnect with gamers and the rest of the gaming public.
That's true.
Like the rest, I mean, because like, you know, like I've noticed this a long time. The gamers have a real self-importance. And they really believe that what they think of how things should go is like, should be what everyone should listen to. They had a real inflated sense of worth after they got Mass Effect 3 changed. The Mass Effect 3 is the tipping point to how shitty the gaming community is. Once they won something and they view that as a win, then everything else kind of went to shit. But but gamers have a real fucked up perception of the gaming industry, and like you got to realize they don't cater to you. There's not enough for you. There's not enough for you to make, like Call of Duty and Halo really pop like it does. Mm-hmm. There's not enough like core gamers to make that $1 billion sales machine happen. Like, and so like they don't make this shit for you. And it was like, like in the early, like the mid last gen, we started referring to people as casuals and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, but they're making a game for the casuals, dog. Like and then like your inflated sense of self-worth has got you fucked off in the game quite a few times, especially when there's a sequel that comes out and they make it a little bit dumber for everyone to get in. Yeah, they made it dumber for them. They didn't make it dumber for you. Like, you know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah,
it's what?
Well, I was gonna say like one thing I trust but I don't trust is like Steam reviews. They're a double-edged sword because sometimes they can be an echo chamber because there's a game that's overwhelmingly positive, so they're going to also say it's overwhelmingly positive. They don't want to be, well, I'm the only guy that didn't like this, so sometimes that can happen. And
I trust Steam reviews over Metacritic.
Well,
100%.
Well, also it's how Steam presents it. Like, it will be positive as long as it's over 5.9. Like positive is
right. When they say what's positive and what's not,
positive is 6 to 6.5, and then mostly positive is 6.5 to 7.5. Very positive 7.5 to 8.5. Oh no, very positive 8.5 to 9.5, and overwhelmingly positive is that 9 to 10. You know what I mean? But so you'll see something that's very positive. And you're like, oh, it's a good game. But then you see something that says 7.5. You're like, oh, it's a bad game. Same fucking review. Same fucking meaning. Means the same thing.
But no one reads the text.
Yeah.
You know how it is. It's pros, 3 words, cons, 3 words, thumbs up. We're done.
Right. If a review, except for the Haribo sugar-free gummy bear reviews, which are fucking hilarious.
You're talking about the Amazon one?
Yes. Except for that, like if your review is longer than a tweet, I'm pretty much gonna read the beginning and then check the fuck out. Or if you wrote a long thing, I'm just gonna skip to the pros and the cons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know that as somebody who used to write long form reviews.
Yeah, and
1,500 words is the kiss of death.
And then like in Amazon, I only look at reviews for like verified purchase. I love that Amazon put like we verified they actually bought this shit, so they probably know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm not gonna read your review if it isn't verified.
And then the one bad thing about Amazon reviews, unless it's someone who makes a career out of reviewing shit, they review the shit like the first week they bought it. Mm-hmm. You know, they don't go and correct a review unless they're about that life. If, a year after it stopped working or whatever, they just get something else. You know what I mean? So
I've seen that, especially like if you go on Amazon and you're looking at dick pills. It's like I have testosterone issues, but so like you're looking at like dick pills, and there's like, yeah, I got it, and like a month in, nothing's going on, and then it's like update, like you know what I mean.
Yo, it's Thursday, and I had some red wine, and tonight.
And the ones that I love, like if you ever find yourself in the dick pill category of Amazon, is the wives leaving the reviews. It's hilarious.
Street Overlord. I'll be looking it up later. That's that crazy Chinese dick pill that has Ryu ready to rock.
The funny shit. The funny shit is not in the reviews, man. The funny shit is in the questions. That frequently, because sometimes it'll be like from the marketplace or whatever, some bananas in there, and people are like, well, does it keep a good charge? And then there's legitimate questions like, yeah, it charges for about, 2 hours or whatever. Like,
you'd be surprised because I've reviewed some, or not reviewed. I don't know if I reviewed or not, but I'll get some things that are like, hey, you're like one of the only people who engages with people who answer questions or ask questions on this product. And they're always weird products because I did all this weird AV shit. Like I'm always hooking up old shit to new shit and doing all kinds of weird stuff. So, and the questions people ask are like, they have no shame. Like, yo, will this HDMI splitter allow me to steal and then illegally rip Netflix movies on my PS3 if I run it through here? Cause I heard it could do it. I'm like, well, you're not supposed to do it. Now, fuck you, man. Does it do it? Does it do it? That's all I want to know. Does it do it? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, this dude confirmed it. He can do it. Let's all buy it. And it's like, okay. Like, people will just cut to this shit.
Yeah,
I get that from Google reviews. Google will be like, somebody asked a question. You left a review about this place. Can you answer this shit? Like, you got this dog? Like, that's basically Google does that to me all the time.
Well,
you got this dog?
Everybody knows that the number one reason to buy an HDMI splitter is not splitting HDMI.
No, it's stripping HDCP. Everybody knows that. I don't even know how those can still exist, but somehow they disappear for a little while and then they're right back in it. Yeah, that's exactly what they're for.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was something I was going to say and then I just lost it. Fuck. I lost it. I had something. Oh, the Amazon reviews. Let me tell you the worst shit about Amazon reviews. And everybody who buys a lot of Amazon knows this shit. So, Amazon, you get the notification your package has been delivered. Then immediately someone sends you a message like, "Hey, can you review this?" Bitch, I just got it.
And then they're like, if you give a review, we'll give you a free mouse or some shit.
Yeah, it's like, I just got it. Look, I'm not even at home. I haven't opened the box. I don't know what the fuck I actually got. I don't even know if I got what the fuck I paid for. Why are you asking me to review some shit immediately after I got a notification it was delivered? You're on some bullshit, dog. Like, I actually sent someone a message because, my girlfriend uses Amazon way more than I do. And like, she'll order some shit, but it's the account is in my name. So I get the emails. She gets the stuff. If they send it through the app, she gets the message from the app. But most of the time when they send this shit, it's an email form and the shit comes straight to me. And it's just like, yeah, you ordered these leggings. How are these leggings? Bitch, I don't wear leggings.
They're fantastic. Really hugging the right spots.
Right. It's just like, yo, and then like, I use Amazon a lot. The reason why I got Amazon Prime is because, my daughter lives 4 hours away. So if I need to buy something for her, I buy it, I Amazon it, we go on about the business. But then they'll be like, hey, you ordered this pencil sharpener. How'd it go? Bitch, I don't know.
It's a mystery. Well, I forgot. Somebody called me and they were like, yeah, we wanted to just check up on your happiness with the product or something. I forgot which retailer it was. And I was like, it just got delivered today. And they're like, yeah. I was like, I'm not even at home, like you said. And they're like, oh, we know everyone's working from home. No, hospital workers in a damn lab ain't at home. Trust me. You want me to take a picture? Shit, I'm in an office.
Yeah, I've never not been at work doing this whole shit. Like, I work for a fucking moving company. Like,
what are you gonna do? How are you working from home?
This shit has never stopped. Well, I don't actually move people shit.
Okay.
I work in the office, which seems like it's something that we could do from home, but not my boss. My boss is like, nope, we all coming. We gonna do some dumb shit around the office, and we just gonna make this shit work.
My boss went to high school with Jesus Christ, so she doesn't even like that we're using computers, let alone.
Wow.
Yeah. We're just the young kids they hired because we know how to make the old ass instruments talk to the new fancy computers.
It's like, how are you going to tell me about this? Your birth certificate is in cuneiform.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was funny because she was like, so explain to me again. See, I'm in Kansas City, Kansas, and Great Bend, Kansas is one of our hospitals we took on, and they're like 4 hours away. She goes, explain to me again how you don't have to drive out there to get these things hooked up. No, I'm not going to try to explain it to you. No, just trust me. I can do it. I can
Wait,
hook
you're in
up
Kansas
to their
City,
computer.
Kansas?
Yeah.
I'm in Knob Noster, Missouri.
Oh, well, there you go. And I'm actually in south of the city, but yeah. I'm in Olathe. So yeah, I know where you are. I drive past you every time I go to the Ozarks, which isn't as often as my brethren because I don't want to get COVID.
Yeah.
But I got a couple private or Airbnbs that'll rent you private cabins on the lake that are beautiful, even during COVID. So
is it anything like the TV show? I just started the TV show. I'm on like season 2.
Ozark?
Mm-hmm.
Not quite. And for the record, they filmed that whole thing largely in Nebraska, I think. So, but there is like a main strip in that show. I don't know if you've seen it yet, where they walk the main strip over at Bagnell Dam, and that's legit, like with all the pawn shops and stuff. That was actually filmed out there.
Is it kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer? You're like, it says, hey, this takes place in North Carolina, and then all of a sudden they're like big pans of like ocean with cliffs, and like I'm like, that ain't in no North Carolina.
I'll give them credit. Ozark's a little closer. I don't know, Matt, if you've seen it, but like Ozark gets a little closer to what the Ozarks actually look like. But yeah, I just know that everyone down there will always whine that they didn't film it in the actual area, and I don't think they paint a great picture of the people out there, which is not really as consistent as it.
Yeah, because they basically paint everybody like they're Hicks.
Right, and they're there, but it's not been my experience.
Yeah, everybody in the show is straight up Hick.
Certain Walmarts are too nice, and I remember this from last week's conversation. Certain Walmarts are too nice for that to be accurate. Certain chain restaurants are out there where you're like,
so they got the Walmart with the lobster tank.
No, but we do. I have one locally, and that's why I was cracking up when you were saying that shit.
You know, you at the good Walmart when you got a lobster.
It's a neighborhood market too, which even furthered that whole like concept of like they're smug. Like,
yes, I'm telling you, neighborhood markets are just like.
Because I walked in there once to pick up my ship to store or something, and it was like 7:15, and they were, because I get out of work late, and they were like, I was like, yeah, I'm here to pick up my ship to store, and they're like, oh no, sir, we're a neighborhood market. Our customer service closes at 7. You'll have to come back tomorrow. And I'm like, what? I know it's right there.
I know they still in the back. I know that they ain't left yet.
If some dude was coming over here fiending for cigarettes, I guarantee you're open. I was like, come on, help me out.
Right.
If you were just talking about dick pills and you show off your shirt, I just noticed that.
What? Oh, what, mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't know what that's from, that's from it's the Rick and Morty guys. It's called Solar Opposites on Hulu. And if you haven't watched
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And if in episode 5 is specifically the one I'm talking about, and they're not really connected, so you can watch them one-offs. But they want to make a man cave, and they saw the guy walking in with a sign that says "Tiggle Bitties," and it's got the trucker boobs like hanging off it. It's a neon sign, and they like suck at all of it, and so they don't know what to do, and so they go to the store, and all that's left is a Diggle Bix, and so they buy it. And then my wife was like, I wonder if there's a shirt for it, and so she got me that for Father's Day, believe it or not.
Of course there is.
Yeah, so I wear that shirt as like a pajama shirt, but yeah, sometimes I'll forget and go to like the grocery store wearing the shirt.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is, because it's only a short period of time before someone reminds you, because we're in Kansas City, which is a little more progressive than, like Western Kansas, but there's still a lot of people who are like, hey, are you a homosexual? Yes. Big one. Come here.
You gotta be careful with that one, because they don't take kindly to your kind around these here parts.
Is his name, is his name, was it Seabass?
Yeah, kick his ass, Seabass. Well, the problem is here in Kansas, we can conceal and carry. That's the other problem. Although I was laughing about that too when you guys were talking about the shootings, because out here it just depends on the color of the person who did it. If it was like a black dude that shot it up, it's like, oh, it's a terrible tragedy that happened in the parking lot. Some dude was doing some thug shit. And then if a white guy does it, it's like, oh, well, someone was trying to be a hero and we make mistakes. And it's like,
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
It's not okay.
Here's the crazy thing. Somebody pointed this shit out. They pointed out like all of the stuff that they did for Trayvon Martin, because they went to Trayvon Martin because they were the same age. They were both 17. And him and the Kyle dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
has anybody noticed that we ain't seen a fucking mugshot for Kyle yet?
Mm-hmm.
And we went all deep into Trayvon Martin's past, like, oh, he got busted for, he got suspended for school for having some weed residue in his book bag. I'm like, really? Like, that's what we doing right now? Like,
that's so transparent though. Like that goes back to the LA riots and shit, where people are like, oh yeah, why am I blanking on his name? Who's the guy that got beaten that caused the LA riots?
Reginald Denny was the one during the riots, but
right.
But what's his name? Why can't we all
Ronnie
just
King.
get along?
Yeah.
Ronnie King. I'm so
Ronnie
sorry,
King.
I couldn't remember.
I kept thinking, why can't we all just get along? Like, that's the part that I keep thinking of.
But Rodney King, like, everyone's like, oh yeah, but he was doing drugs and and I was like, okay, yeah, he did a bad, but that's not. It's still not okay.
It's
Don't
not
you
okay.
get it?
It's not okay to beat him the way that they beat him
within an inch of your life. That's not okay. That's not how we do it.
They beat him. They beat Rodney King so bad they got tired. Like, towards the end, they're like,
you got the chubby guy in the back who's like, hold on.
Like, after every swing, they're like, like, you know,
I know. It was like
you can't, you beat a motherfucker so bad that you wheezing. Like, that's not okay.
No.
That's not okay that you beat a nigga so bad that he wheezing. That you wheezing. Why are you his ass? Like, that's crazy. And then the Reginald Denny thing, let's be honest, like, they pulled him out the truck. He caught a little bit, but like, there wasn't anything close to what Rodney.
No, because they remembered, like, there's probably a camera around here, and they were right.
Yeah. It's like, they pulled him out the truck, but like, come on, man, he ain't getting.
But it's like not like in the courtroom, you'll never see a judge who's like, oh, well, he's starting to act up, and all right, I'll allow beat his ass. No, it's fine. We'll wait. We'll take a 30-second recess.
I almost had a gun pulled on me in the courtroom before.
Damn.
Yeah. So
By a cop?
By the bailiff dude.
Okay, that's close enough.
Okay, so what had happened was, I was, during the early days of my separation, there was a really bad situation, and I ended up in court for order of protection. They gave it to her, and I appealed it. During the appeal, they put my ex-wife on the stand. We cool now. They put her on the stand, and like, she was going for it, crying, all kinds of shit. Like, she went for it because, of course, the first time she had a legal aid lawyer. The second time she went in with no lawyer, and I had a lawyer that time, and I had to get a real lawyer because I can't go to legal aid because they can't represent against each other.
Right.
So I had to go get a real lawyer. So I'm in there, and I am on fire because she is putting on an act. Like, I shouldn't have been there in the first place. Like, let's be honest. I shouldn't have been there in the first place. I should have never got put on an order of protection in the first place. Like, all of that stuff was, it was just kind of crazy. Like, I got put in that position for a specific reason. And that was for her to be able to leave the state without me saying, no, you can't take my child away, because she left and moved to Baltimore. So during that, they never put me on the stand. They just had me stand up where I was. And the judge was asking me questions. And I know people who listen to the show for a long time, they know this story. But this is at the same time as the Dolphins thing with the bullying with Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito. And this is at the exact same time. And the judge gave me an earful about being a bully to my ex-wife. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not even supposed to be be here. And I'm like, she already put on a show and I'm already mad about that. So like the judge is asking me questions and I am heated. And he gives me a long lecture about being a bully to her. And during the lecture, he says, I don't know you, but you look like you could be a bully. He basically gave me.
I know those fucking judges.
He gave me the lecture about being a bully just based off of how I looked and not based off of anything I actually did to anyone. And that just had me on fire. So like I'm answering the questions, but of course, I guess there's a little bit of, I guess at the time I was upset and there was a little bit of bass in my voice and the bailiff kind of stood up. Like at
the ready.
Yeah. He stood up and was like, Hey, I need you to bring that down a little bit. And I'm like, no, this isn't right. I shouldn't even be here. And, like my lawyer's not talking because he's asking me the questions directly. So my lawyer is putting his hand on my arm like, yo, bruh, calm the fuck down. And,
right.
he was like, he was an older white man. So he was like, yo, I need you to bring this down a little bit. But like the fact that this dude is giving it to me about doing something that I've never done to anyone. Like, let's be honest. I'm a bully to Chase. But like, I've never I bullied Chase into leaving the show last week.
Oh, I know. Well, I didn't know that was the cause, but I heard it. I was there.
No, yeah. So I was upset. And he put his hand on his gun and he was ready to go. And he looked back at the judge like, you want me to shoot him? Like, is it go time? Like he wanted.
And that's the shit that scares me is is it go time? What?
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah. He popped the button and everything. He was really ready to go. He popped the button. That's when you know it's real. When they pop the button, you know it's real. But yeah, that's only the second time I almost had a gun pulled on me.
Oh well,
but by a police officer or someone.
Okay.
Someone in.
I was
law
gonna say
enforcement.
the one time it happened for me, I gave them my shoes and fucking they can have them.
Yeah, fuck.
I was just walking home in the wrong neighborhood of Chicago.
Yeah, I don't really buy a whole lot of expensive clothes and shoes and stuff like that. Shit, I barely just started buying name brand shoes because I buy some U.S. Polo Association shoes real quick. I don't give a fuck.
I was a white dude walking in some Nike flights in 1999. That was not smart. Nah, that was Pippin's town, man. Like.
Yeah,
they took him.
I'm gonna need you to put on some. I need you to put on some Payless when you.
Yeah, it's like, British Knights are bust after that.
Yeah, pretty much. Has there ever been any truth to that rumor about British Knights being linked to the KKK? Like that used to be like an urban.
Yeah, I
legend.
remember that rumor.
Yeah, but like no one has ever confirmed that. And then British Knights just kind of went away. Actually, you know what? The worst part about British Knights going away?
I shouldn't Google this, but what's that?
The worst part about British Knights going away is how it got killed. British Knights got killed by LA Gear, which isn't even a fucking round anymore. Like the LA Gear hiking boots.
LA Gear, yeah.
The LA Gear hiking boots was like the shit for quite some time.
Oh,
especially when fucking Joe Montana was the spokesperson. Motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody wanted those shits.
The late 80s? Yeah.
British Knights got killed by fucking LA Gear. And like, yo, if I was British Knights, I'd be mad as fuck about that. Like, yo, fucking.
They're also
LA
clearly very mad about the association with the KKK. That is not true. Yeah,
that too. I mean, if it's really not true, then yeah, I guess
allegedly it's not true. Snopes didn't have an opinion.
Okay, but yeah, fucking LA Gear hiking boots, and like no one fucking cares about LA Gear right now. Like no one, and someone needs to bring that shit back. Someone needs to bring British Knights back and be like, yo, motherfuckers. But the worst part about like you trying to explain that game, is I called my daughter on Saturday and her mom been playing that game together. And like, so she went into this long fucking explanation of the shit. And I'm just kind of like, I can't cut her off. Like I have to listen to this one. And that fucking sucks.
I cut my daughter off. She's 8. I got to teach her young. We're not going to stand for that shit.
My daughter's 12, and she doesn't really like to. She doesn't really like to talk to me much. So if she finds something that she wants to talk about, I just gotta kind of like let her do it.
Oh yeah, and I'm just kidding. My daughter has told me endless stories about Roblox games. Let me tell you. Actually, I won't tell you. I know what happens.
Speaking of Roblox, there was a very interesting thing my daughter did when she was playing this drawing game that you like draw on the floor in Roblox.
Okay.
And some other kid on somewhere in the world was also drawing on this floor, and he wrote "Kill Trump." I was like, "Whoa,
whoa!" I was gonna guess a penis, but because that's usually where it goes. But
I told my daughter, I was like looking over her shoulder. She was showing me her little character that she drew, and it was really good. It was like this little anime character, and I was like, yeah, that's Daddy's girl, drawing little anime characters and stuff. So I was like,
meanwhile, the sociopath behind her.
And then there's this other kid drawing, kill. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, my daughter straight spazzed on me one day. We were in the car. Straight spazzed on me about fucking Roblox and Minecraft. Because like every time your kid tells you something, it's kind of like, well, I'm a little bit older. So like I was fucking by the time Pokemon came out. But like when someone who's like super into Pokemon starts explaining fucking Pokemon to someone who absolutely doesn't give a shit because they fucking, and they don't really give a shit about fucking Pokemon, like that's basically what happens every time she tries to talk to me about
Well, there's
Minecraft.
some people that give a shit about fucking Pokemon, so.
Yes, there's a actually very active community. If you want me to introduce you to a couple sites,
I think I'm good on that one.
I've seen
I was looking for Sonic people. Yeah, I was looking for Sonic, furry people, but stumbled on the Pokemon ones. Turns out they roll in the same circles,
Yeah, and then also if you got on one of those suits, you can hide your dick pills.
Oh, right.
I tell you what, though, that Jesse from Team Rocket.
There you go. Right?
Legs.
Actually, I've never played a Pokemon game, but I do know. I played the card game, but nobody cares about that one.
I played the card game because my daughter wanted to play. So I learned how to play. Like I watched YouTube videos and I learned how to play. She wanted some Pokemon cards so she can she can stun on her friends. That's basically what it was. She wanted to stun on her friends. So she wanted some Pokemon cards one year for her birthday. And then I was like, well, do you know how to play the game? It's like, no. So I looked up fucking YouTube videos. I learned how to play. I downloaded the game and I bought a couple of packs for myself. But I bought the packs, used the code to put them in the game, and then just gave her the cards.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I'm talking about like old school, like late 90s, the card game.
No, I mean,
like
but
the magic cards kind of shit. Yeah.
It's the
I've
same
got a box
game.
of those somewhere.
Well, he said he bought the cards, but he can scan them into the web game.
Oh, that's even cooler.
The web game, yeah. The cards.
Wizards of the Coast won't let you do that shit with Magic. They're like, no.
Yeah,
no, we keep the digital and the tangible separate.
Each of the packs come with a card that you just basically you hold it up to your webcam and it scans the code and it puts the whole fucking shit in your library.
Oh, wow.
So I did that, and then I really started learning how to play, and then I just started whooping her ass. Like it was bad, real bad, because I took the time to learn how to play. And
You're like, Pokemon can't fight.
Yeah,
you gotta find the weakness, hun.
Yeah, so she just wanted to stun on her friends. So I learned how to play. We sat here and in the same place. Like she would be in her room on her computer, I would be in here on this computer, and I would just be firing her ass up. And she got mad and she didn't want to play no more. And I'm just kind of like, well, I don't want to actually play with real people. That seems like a fucking horrible idea because I just learned how to play this a couple years ago. These people have been maximizing their builds for years.
And you want to talk about entitlement from playing Magic online. Those whiny bitches. They're either cheating or quitting. It's so annoying.
It's kind of like playing it's kind of like playing Halo and or playing 2K, when you're in the park and then you start getting your ass whooped and then all of a sudden they gone.
Yeah, it's weird. My internet connection is doing great until I'm winning. Then all of a sudden DNS errors and everything. And you can tell when you come back because they get kind of surprised. They're like, how'd you get back in here before the game considered it a loss? Well, because I know how to flush DNS. What are you doing? Like, yeah, no, we can. Yeah, some of us can figure it out, Dick. Yeah, take your whooping like a real man.
Absolutely. All right, so I guess I'll intro the show. This is Scargasm. We've already been talking for quite a while. Welcome to the show. My spiritual N-word Rojas is in the building.
Hello.
And Wormhole Matt is in the building.
Hello.
See, the problem with having Matt around is like Matt doesn't know how to play the double Dutch game so far. It's like one of those things. Like, Matt, you better jump in here and just start talking. Like that's kind of like how this works. Like you got basically two basically lead podcasters and then a cuck of Chase. Chase tried to meme me, dog. Like, so it's on right now. It's on and popping with Chase right now.
That is true.
Chase sitting fucking memes in the fucking Discord, and
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, dog, we memeing each other right now. Is that what we're doing right now? This is what we're doing. So Chase got it coming today. I
got something to try on the podcast. I actually picked up the mystery flavor Mountain Dew thing.
Oh shit!
I've never heard of mystery flavor Mountain Dew because I can't have regular Mountain Dew. Well, and they don't make this shit in diet. It's fucking assholes.
Yeah,
they should make diet mystery Mountain Dew. As a person who just prefers,
what I would love? I would love some fucking diet pitch black. Like, bruh.
Well, past couple of years they haven't done pitch black as was that a main? That's a main one now, isn't it? Because that used to be a Halloween one, but it
kind of comes and goes. I think.
I mean, I don't subscribe to the Mountain Dew Pantheon.
I actually don't like regular ass Mountain Dew, but I do like a lot of the weird shit.
I like the Baja Blast that you get from like Taco Bell, and they very rarely have it in the grocery store. And I've seen it a few times and grabbed it, but then every time I go back and look for it, it's not there.
And the good thing about Taco Bell is Taco Bell actually has Diet Baja. I've never seen that shit in a fucking store, especially when they started selling Baja in the store. I've never seen that shit, but they damn sure do.
No, you'll get a teenager in the grocery store who gets green in the face when you're like, do you have Baja? No, but I think we've got one of the regular. It's nasty. Why you want zero?
Yeah. Well, actually, zero Mountain Dew is fucking horrible. Just regular old Diet Dew is great. But I mean, I got diabetes, so like I gotta drink this.
Oh, okay.
Shit. And the fucked up part about having diabetes is like you can't find the stuff that you used to really love in diet because they don't fucking make that shit. Do you know what I would do? Do you know what I would do right now if they made a diet Fanta strawberry? Like,
you're making me want it all of a sudden.
I have not had a Fanta strawberry since like 2002. Do you understand how fucking horrible this existence is? And then the worst part about it is there's very few like diet flavors of stuff. Like they don't really make a whole lot of diet stuff. So like,
and are you running into that run on diet cherry, Coke Zero cherry? It's like, you can't find it right now. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Someone pulled the plug on it.
Yeah. It just is there one day and the next day, all them shit's gone. And you just like, man, what the fuck happened? All the rest of y'all died.
You get on Amazon, it's like $30 for a 12 pack of Coke Zero cherry. And I'm like,
well, I've been trying that. I believe it's a pink Starburst.
Really?
That's what it tastes like
Jinx.
to me.
Right.
That's a great flavor, actually, to put into a soda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or like a Smarties or Sweet Tart. But I'm pretty sure it's going. It's definitely kind of a tarty. But pink Starburst is where I'm putting my final answer.
Are all of those that flavor, or is it like random flavors? Like you don't know if your next mystery one's going to taste like that.
I'm not sure. I'm not
So
sure
that means
about
you. So that means you have to buy another one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like it.
far be
I
from
think
us,
it's so.
but,
I mean, at least it's not like those Harry Potter jelly beans or whatever.
I've given my daughter those.
I think those people who buy the Bean Boozled people,
Yep,
those Bean Boozled people are like the worst fucking people. Like, why would you do this to yourself?
Oh, my
Well, you're
daughter! I
supposed to
came
make a
home and
game
my
out
daughter
of it
was
or whatever.
I came
No.
home and my daughter was doing it with her friend on a Zoom call. And I was like, "That's my girl."
No, I'm not going to do that shit to myself. I'm not going to do that to me.
It's Russian roulette with jelly beans.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I used to make a killing selling candy in middle school because in middle school, I was one of the people that the store was open that early in the morning. So I would take my lunch money, go and buy a bunch of candy and then resell that shit to everybody who couldn't get candy that morning. And they used to have these things. The guy at the little corner store thing, he used to have this thing, and it's a pack of 10 little gumballs. And I can't remember what the fuck this shit is called. 3 of them are hot as fuck. Like 3 of them are like super fucking hot. So we used to play that game with that, but I'm not gonna fucking do the jelly bean thing where like one of them might taste like throw up or boogers or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, if it's hot, then I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. Like, I can deal
What
with
if you
it.
got the booger one? You're like, this one's pretty good, and you check the flavor as boogers. You're like, I learned something about myself.
Or it's like the green one could be boogers or pears in the Bean Boozled, and you're like, and people are like, so which one did you get? Hold on.
Pears don't have a really strong flavor
Exactly.
in the first place. So like you
It could go either way
Like
here.
salt.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the blue one was the one I always joked about because it was either blueberry or toothpaste. I'm like, meanwhile, the fruit punch or vomit one is a much bigger risk. Or the brownie or dog food. That's another one. Popcorn or sweaty socks. Like,
Yes, I don't want to put sweaty socks in my mouth. Even playing the game, I don't play those kind of games. I'm not about to play that kind of game with myself. Like, no, fuck, no. I'll watch you do it. Y'all can have fun. Like,
yeah, well, there's websites
because-
for that. Yeah.
yeah, y'all can all the fun you want to with these Bean Boozled. Like, you know, get naked, do whatever the fuck you want to. I'll watch and just keep mumbling to myself, this is some white people shit right here. But I'm like, but I wouldn't do that to myself. Like, it's like, this is going to be, this is green apple or dumpster juice. Like, bitch, I don't want to do that. Like, why would I do that?
Where do they come up with these flavors and stuff, though?
Oh, yeah, some really twisted individual.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing that bothers me the most about this. Who the fuck had to test this shit to be like, yeah, this really tastes like dumpster juice? Like, who the fuck had to like try? It's so like someone.
The type of person is like, this tastes horrible. You got to try it.
Yeah. Well,
White
and
people shit.
Jelly Belly claims that there's a little bit of every flavor, like whatever makes the flavor, there's a little bit, like traces of it in every bean. So like if it's vomit, that means it's like 1% apparently real vomit. And so that's where you start going, all right, where'd they get this?
I used to love the popcorn ones, but the popcorn ones are like candy corn. Like the more you eat, the worse that shit is. Like you gotta stop at some point. Like, like you gotta count. Like, all right, once you get to 7, you might want to back off.
I actually had that
7.
experience just recently with some sweet tart jelly beans. At first I was like, man, these are awesome. And then after a little bit, it just was like pure bitter. Like I stopped tasting tart.
Or like the 5-pound bag of gummy bears, and you're just like, oh.
Well, that's a whole different.
I ain't about that life. I ain't about, like a 5-pound. I'm a fat motherfucker, but like a 5
y'all trying to kill me?
Like,
Again, it's like that and the big thing of cheese balls at Target. Like I walk past it and I'm like, I
can't do more than the dollar gummy worms. Like, come
That's
on,
some
man.
straight
Like,
up not diabetes privilege.
a 5
no,
a 5
I
pound
don't
bag.
though. Like, yeah. I'm just like,
I heard it
So
from
that's
a friend.
how you got to the Haribo sugar-free things. Because, see, I just don't like sugar, so I try to go for things that don't have, like, true processed sugar in them. And that's how I ended up at Haribo Diet, and I was talked out of those. I don't care if those are real or not. I ain't chancing it.
It is when someone told me about that, I was like, this shit can't be real. Like, this shit can't be real. But so many, like, going back to the thing, I saw the verified purchase on some of it. So, like, like, some of this has to be real because it's verified purchase, you know?
Either they're committing to the bit but either way, I'm out. Yeah, like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, you probably get like a 5-pound bag to like have it at a party, you know, or something.
Oh,
not
man,
to eat
serving
yourself.
all those at a party and not telling someone. All of a sudden, everyone gets the bubble guts an hour in.
No. Fiery bubble guts.
That's what it is.
Fire. Like,
It like hurts.
yeah, it's like, I can't imagine, like, unknowingly, like, walking into that situation. Like, I won't even eat, like, fuck that shit. If I see gummy bears somewhere, unless I see the wrapper, like, I'm not eating no gummy bears from nobody. And, like, I'm a diabetic, but I'm the world's worst diabetic. I still do shit. But, like, if I see gummy bears, if I don't see the wrapper, I'm like, no, I'm good. And even if the wrapper is like the regular Haribo gummy bears, I'm like, nope.
It's got to be sealed. It's got to be sealed.
No, if it's
really?
that brand, I'm out. Like, I'm not chancing.
Oh, see, I still trust like the Halloween packs, the mini bags of Haribo. But yeah,
I miss Halloween. Like, I miss, because my daughter doesn't live here, so like I miss like having all of her candy to eat. Like, fuck, man.
Well, I was joking about this, but COVID is Halloween's the perfect holiday for COVID because everyone's got to be outside and wear masks. So, like, you should be like, and also if you love Halloween that much, why don't you just roll through the neighborhood? Just tell everyone you're a big kid. See how that works.
I have not had like a costume in so long. I want to do a costume. Like, I want to be like just some regular shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, like, of course, like I'm much larger of a person than my dad. So even when I was young, I would just put on his old military uniform, and you know what? I'm in the fucking military today, and that's just pretty much was my Halloween. Like, I'm in the Marines today. Like, that's it.
Get you a pillowcase and work the neighborhood 3 times over.
Did he go all out like Ron Block?
No. No, not at all. Well, see, Ron Block sometimes works in a place where he has to really go at Halloween like that. I'm not about that life. I want to just do like something regular, like a fucking vampire. Like, I just want to be a vampire. Put the fucking fake teeth in and just kind of, just do a vampire one day. I mean, of course,
Make sure you sparkle though.
Yeah.
No.
Well, at least if you're outside, yeah.
Nah, fuck that shit.
No, it's just part of that Robert Pattinson life.
No,
hey, it's
no,
okay.
because,
When you grow older, you become Batman, it turns out.
But see, here's the problem with that. Well, first
The
of all,
trailer looked good though, man. I don't know
Like,
if it's just a Nirvana, but it looked good.
It looked good, yeah.
I never watched the trailer because I don't really care that strongly about Batman. I know that's sacrilegious. I don't really care that much. I don't really care that much about Batman. Like, I don't really care that much about DC in general. Like,
That's kind of how I am too. I'm not a big DC guy. I've always been Marvel or, some of the indie comics that were out at the time.
Because Marvel motherfuckers got real problems. It's like, yeah, I got these powers, but I got real motherfucking problems. And like most of the DC people, like, they're gods trying to figure out how to pretend to be human. Like, no.
Well, at least Batman's more grounded that he's not a god, but he is. Might as well be because he's fucking rich.
Billionaire though, you're in god status.
Yeah, he's like his money allows him to do shit that no man should be able to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he has enough money to be able to be like, if I need to take down Superman, fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He has fucking money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he could do anything to anyone and completely get away with it because he has fucking money.
Yeah, like he looked at Metal Gear Solid 5 and he goes, I can buy a Fulton. Alfred, let's try this shit. I'm going China.
Yeah, I just the whole Batman thing. Like, I don't get people who love Batman. Like, Batman is fucking, like, he's just as fucking crazy as, like, the Joker. Like, that's the reason why they work off of each other so much, because they need each other, because they're just as fucking crazy as each other. Like, who the fuck decides I'm just gonna put on a fucking suit and go jumping off of fucking buildings and hope this fucking cape turns into something that's gonna make me fucking survive. And then, of course, I don't want to use a gun. I'm facing motherfuckers with a gun, but like my mouth and my chin are all fucking out to be fucking shot, and no one ever fucking shoots it. Like, who the fuck? Why the fuck would you not just shoot him in the fucking mouth?
I love how, I love how that in Batman Arkham Knight, that's the last one, right? How, like, you would, like, totally just run dudes over with the car, and then their thing was like, oh, no, it electrocutes them. You saw it electrocuted them, right? Like, that's worse. Yeah, you hit them with a car and electrocuted them. Yeah, that bullshit, bullshit about, like,
where he doesn't kill.
Our heroes don't actually kill people on purpose. Like, thank goodness for fucking Man of Steel, when he was just like, snap, like, it's like, thank goodness for Man of Steel that fucking changed that shit. Well, technically, Man of Steel didn't change it. It was Arrow that changed it. Because Arrow, the first season of Arrow, he was killing everything.
I know for a fact that in Spider-Man, I killed some motherfuckers. Because I would get that guitar onto a roof of a building, come down, and they would all go off of that fucking skyscraper. They're dead. Spider-Man murdered those motherfuckers.
Right. But they're trying to pretend like, no, he didn't actually kill. No, fuck that shit.
Well, but Spider-Man did tackle with killing and stuff like that. And I think Batman did too. But like what you were talking about is the phenomenon that exists with, like, not to get too intellectual about it, but like the Killing Joke, if you've never read that, or you can even see the DC animated movie. It was quite good.
The Joker shit is fucking hilarious. Like, the fact that the Joker busts up in the spot, shoots Barbara, and immediately says she'll never walk again, and then keeps it fucking moving. Like, that is the hardest shit ever. Like, the Joker. That's the reason why the Joker is just fucking dope, because like the idea that like he is so smart, but like just as fucking crazy as he is smart. Is what makes that character a very interesting character. I haven't seen the Joaquin Phoenix thing, because, incels.
That one. Yes. Okay.
Which is funny. It's funny that the incels were like pandering over that movie, and then fawning over that movie when it's actually when the moral was actually not incelish. It was more like fuck Wall Street. So it's just like, this movie actually has the opposite of what you guys want, or what you guys think you want.
Right.
I like the Harley Quinn show. That animated series is freaking.
You're talking about the one that was on WB and that's now on HBO Max?
I don't know if it was on WB.
The R-rated animated one?
Yeah. I mean, they're like, fuck this, fuck that. Like, she's gonna kill somebody right in front of everybody and not worry about it. And then, like, it's insane.
Oh, it's on my to-do list, and I need to watch that. Yeah. I've been really desperate. I almost subscribed to that WB service. I didn't do it for Swamp Thing, and then I was ready to do it for Harley Quinn. And then somebody said it was on HBO Max, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out.
I almost did it for, what's the other show? The Doom Patrol?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the first episode of Doom Patrol on YouTube. It was on YouTube for a little bit, the first episode, and I thought it seemed really fucking good, and I was just like, yeah, but do I need another streaming service right now? That's kind of how I am with fucking Lovecraft. Is it county or country? But I want to see that shit. I really want to see that shit. Like, I wanted to see
Watchmen. Is that on Amazon Prime though? Or what's
that one's actually HBO as well.
It's HBO.
And the only reason I even know or care about any of this stuff is because I made a big purchase recently, and they were like, "Oh, as your gift along with this purchase, here's 6 months of HBO Max." And so I'm like, "All right, we got to get it all in now."
Yeah,
like use up everything. Yeah, because I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, because I pay for so many streaming services. I'm just kind of like, I pay for streaming services that I don't even use, like ESPN Plus. Don't really use it. Like I've used ESPN Plus maybe about 3 times since I got the Disney Plus bundle, because I already had Hulu. So I already had Hulu, so it really didn't matter. So when I added Disney Plus, which is not the greatest service, like let's be honest, not the greatest service. They just don't have enough content, and like COVID really fucked up the TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, if COVID didn't fuck up the TV shows, it might be a better service than what it is. But like Disney Plus, kind of lacking.
And then
like
they cropped Simpsons.
I don't give a fuck about the Simpsons.
They fixed that. Don't worry about it.
Oh, they fixed it?
They did fix it. Okay. Not that anybody cared, but
I just
they only cared when it was broken.
I make a library on my Plex server for like Disney Plus or Apple TV or whatever, and then I just torrent all those shows that are currently airing. And then every time a new episode comes out, I download that, upload it to my server, and then I can just stream it through the Plex app on my Roku and just watch it on my TV, and I choose whenever I want. But I don't follow a lot of the streaming services, so I don't know what the latest shows are that are coming out until I hear about it.
Disney Plus doesn't do as much. I think the reason we had it was just because I like to put on some old Disney movies or whatnot. But like you, I have a Plex server, so I don't even know why I cared.
I got Disney Plus outside of like the Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies. Like there isn't much else there that I really care that strongly about. And like the Mandalorian, of course,
and the Descendants. It's okay.
Why the fuck do I care about Descendants? My daughter doesn't even care anymore. Like when that shit
when
was
you
on
can't go
fucking
see
TV,
musicals.
Yeah, and I haven't watched Hamilton yet. I have not watched Hamilton yet, even though they put it there.
That shit is catchy as hell.
And then the fucked up thing about Mulan, like, first of all, let's be honest. I ain't really that quick to try to watch some Mulan with no Mushu. Like, if no Mushu, fuck this movie. Fuck the fuck out of this movie. No, I'll make a man out of you? Nigga, I will slap the shit out of you. Why the fuck would you take that out of the movie? That's the best part of the movie. I'll sing, that's one of those Disney songs that I would sing the fuck out of I'll Make a Man Out of You. Like, that's my shit. Like, how the fuck you goes... You know what I mean? Like, at least I can sing that song. I can't really sing like The Circle of Life. Like, like I can mumble Himalama, Limalama. Like I can hum that shit, but I can't really sing. Like I can, I can't sing like Elton John. So like, fuck, I can't really really go at it. But I'll Make a Man Out of You is the shit. And like fucking Mushu made fucking Mulan the cartoon, made that fucking movie, and they took him out of it for this shit. Like, you want to do some real shit? I don't want no fucking real shit. I want something good. I want something good to watch. I ain't watched that Lion King remake either because, like, come on, man, Beyonce. I love Beyonce. She the queen, but she can't fucking act, bruh. Like, she can't. Like,
luckily they let all the animated creatures do it for you. The Lion King was okay. Aladdin was the shit though. The live action Aladdin was a great Bollywood film. But
I've never seen the original Aladdin. We watched it in school. I just kind of was like in my own world, just kind of drawing like cars or some shit like that and like not paying attention to fucking Aladdin. So I've never actually really seen Aladdin. But like the thing I hate about Disney movies is like you always know who the bad person is because it's always the black one. The black one is always bad. Like either they're dark skinned compared to everybody else, or they're wearing all black. It was just like, okay, like you don't realize this motherfucker Jafar is in all black and he's darker than everybody else. He's the villain. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dog?
You're not wrong. Although in live action Aladdin, they're all 50 Shades of Mocha. Like, I mean, it's all right. It's cool. Other than Will Smith, who's somehow blue. But anyway, with the Mulan thing also, like, yeah, I wasn't that interested in that, although I do love the impassioned speech about Mushu. But what Disney's not talking about is, I don't know if you guys know this, but is going free in December. So you just got to wait.
Yes. Yeah, but the dumb shit is like, yo, if you want to put it up there to rent, just like, okay, we got to pay to rent it for now. I'm not renting the fucking thing for $30 fucking. Like, no, sir. Like, that's not what's hot in these streets. Like, no, I don't care. I don't care about a Mulan with no Mushu and no I'll make a man out of you for $30 fucking. No, thank you. Like, I mean, at least put that shit in the credits or something. Like, hire Eddie Murphy just to do the fucking after credit scene. Like,
he'd do it. He'd do it.
You know what I mean? Like, at least
at this point, Eddie would do it.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like have him do the beginning, like, I am the great stone dragon. Like, I need that in my Mulan. Like, I needs that.
I think I've only seen that like once. Like,
yeah.
Mulan is my favorite regular ass Disney movie, even over Lion King.
And The Emperor's New Groove? Really?
No, Rashani loves that fucking movie.
See?
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Loves that movie.
Well, at least I didn't make out during Emperor's New Groove, so.
Oh, good pull.
Okay, so like,
she was cute. Oh, in my podcast, I was talking about the first time I saw The Emperor's New Groove. I took a girl with, and we weren't there to make out, but something hit her the right way, and next thing we know, I'm making out in the movie. So I didn't watch that movie all the way through.
That happened to me in another equally terrible movie, the live action Flintstones movie. That happened. That happened.
My worst one. My worst one.
Just
like he's about to tell a black joke. He's
whisper, just whisper.
My worst one was
like, are there any niggers around?
It's okay, we got you back. We're watching.
Okay. My worst one was during the Passion of the Christ.
Wow. Bruh. Okay, first of all, I've never seen the Passion of the Christ.
Was it an X?
I heard it's really brutal. Yes. I heard it's really brutal. So like, I don't really want to see Jesus get his ass whooped. Like,
that's all it is.
I don't really want to see that. Like, that's not something that I really care about. And then like Jesus like got kind of a big head after that movie and like kind of fucked his career up. Because like I love there's some things that he played in that I really dig. Frequency, I fucking love Frequency, and like they did a fucking TV show of Frequency, and I was like, yo, I love that fucking movie. I'm gonna watch this shit. And then I realized afterwards that the TV show was like years ago when it got fucking canceled. But like I like some stuff that he was in, and then like after that movie, like I think motherfucker really thought he was Jesus. Like he was like he.
Well, God smited his ass in the middle of that filming. He got like hit by electricity, I think twice. Like,
yeah, like he was feeling himself, and God is like, calm down.
Well, that little old man baby is like the scariest thing that's ever been in any movie ever.
Yeah, no, you ain't wrong. There was I remember working for a newspaper at that time, and they wrote the infamous article. It was Lawrence Journal World, I believe, and they wrote that article about how the MPAA allowed. They made them cut Freddy versus Jason for a bunch of really violent acts to not get an X rating, and then those exact acts are in Passion of the Christ, which released like around the same time, and that got an R. So yeah, it's interesting how that works out.
I think I remember seeing Freddy versus Jason, but I don't really watch a lot of horror movies. I just was wondering how the fuck they were going to make that shit work, because like Jason is like quiet and just like, yeah, I'm here,
man, child.
You're going to die. Like I'm just, you're going to run. I'm going to walk. For some reason, I'm going to be behind you. Good luck. And like, he's just kind of like really like nonchalant about killing. Like it's just very like matter of fact, like dead. You know what I mean? Like dead.
And brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. Punch her head off. Dead. And that's pretty much it. And Freddy is just like, ha, I'm fucking with you, dog. Like, and like, how do you make that work? First of all, as a kid, I was terrified of Freddy. Like really fucking terrified of Freddy. Like, I mean, real bad.
No,
like,
imagine being named after him in the 80s. Just trust me. Yeah, no, I know.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have a sweater?
I did dress up as him because you had to.
Yeah. I was taken to the movie as a kid, and I was in like the 3rd grade, and we went to see part 3. And
Warriors,
like,
baby. So
like I'm in the fucking movie theater, like terrified because I'm a fucking 3rd grader. Why the fuck did they take me to see this movie? I was afraid of Freddy until like the last of the regular movies where like they make him a baby and put him back in his mom's womb. Like my stepmom rented the movie. Yeah, my stepmom rented the movie and forced me to watch it. Like, you're safe now, asshole. Like
she should have shown you the next one, which was Freddy's Dead. Like he's straight up.
Yeah,
I went from having nightmares about him to singing the song from like, I think it was movie 3 or 4 where it was like the song was made by that rock band or like
Don Dokken. Yeah.
And it
Dream
was
Warriors.
like Dream Warriors.
The music,
like,
they know too, because that music video is still on the Blu-ray. Like they let you see it. Fun joke. Mm-hmm. You know what the difference between God and Don Dokken is? God doesn't think he's Don Dokken. Anyway, I'm not wait, that's a Bono joke. No, I'm sorry. The Don Dokken joke was, who is Don Dokken's biggest fan? Don Dokken. That's what it is. Yeah. Dokken loves Dokken.
The same thing for Kanye West. Do you know that Kanye West once said, during a performance that his biggest regret in life at that point, and this is before the kids and all that kind of stuff, so he probably feels differently now, and especially because he's fucking crazy now. He said his biggest regret in life is that he could never see himself except on playback. Like, he could never see himself perform except on playback. Like, he actually said this, and like, I could not think of like the most self-involved thing a person could say. Like, that is like by far the most self-involved thing a person could ever say about himself.
Move over, Julia Roberts. You have competition.
Right. What the fuck happened to Eric? Like, last time we saw Eric was in what? It was in Dark Knight?
Maybe.
He probably plays in a whole bunch of B movies, but Eric used to be the shit. Best of the Best was my shit, son.
Yeah.
But I think the last time we saw Eric was in fucking the Dark Knight. He was like one of the what you call this? The like the mob bosses or some shit, right?
Yeah, I do think he was.
Yeah, I think that's
one of the guys with the pencil trick. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the last time I seen him, and I'm like, yo, where the fuck has he been? Wow, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so you've been busy. You just didn't notice.
Yeah, he ain't played in nothing that I've fucking seen. Look, I'm looking at this shit and like, whoa. He played in a lot of stuff. Like, it gotta be some, a lot of this shit is in like filming and post-production and all of this kind of shit because of fucking COVID. Fucking.
Well, or stuff like Alex Winter, who is Bill from Bill and Ted. I mean, he's just done a lot of stuff behind the camera.
And the way he looks now, he probably should have stayed there. I mean, that dude looks old, especially compared to like timeless fucking Keanu. Like, Keanu.
They made them both look old in that movie, though.
They made them look old, but let's be honest, like they had to make Keanu look bad. Like, they had to.
He's pushing 60 and he's great.
He looks fucking fantastic. Yeah.
Well, this has to happen. Most embarrassing album purchase for you two.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Let's do it.
I'll say it. All right, it's my first CD, which was Mariah Carey. God, it's the one that had "Vision of Love" on it. That might even be the name of the album.
Yeah, I think that was the first one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, let's see, Mariah Carey, "Vision of Love" album. This is it. It's just called Mariah Carey. Yeah. I bought that when I was 8 years old. Loved every song on that album.
I went to a drugstore, and I go to this drugstore quite often because I go during lunch. I go to the Chinese joint and then I walk over and get some drinks and stuff like that. So I walk over to this CVS, and the manager dude is like gay, but he don't really want to say it. Like, you know what I mean? He's one of those things to where I made a joke one day about, and like, there's another dude that works there that I'm like super cool with. And I made a joke about, there was some sort of, some sort of like chips or something like that were super hot or something like that. And they were called Magnum. And I did the whole bit about, I don't want to put nothing called a Magnum in my mouth. And so like I do that whole bit because like it's a funny bit. Like there is nothing called a Magnum that I actually want to put in my mouth, including Magnum ice cream, because there is no other Magnum I want to put in my mouth. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a gun or a condom, I don't want to put that in my mouth. So apparently I do the Magnum bit with the guy that I'm cool with, and the manager guy is there. Apparently when I left, he, his coworker knows that he's gay. Apparently when I walked away, he turned to his coworker and said, "I will." So that guy was there, and Someday came on, the Mariah Carey joint Someday. Mm-hmm. And like, I figured this is my way to get him to reveal himself. So it's at the end where she's doing all of those really high notes and stuff like that. And I said, she can't sing like that no more. And he was like, girl. Like,
gotcha.
Yeah. So I got him a little bit, but he still like really can't. He didn't really go all the way there. I mean, I don't care. Like,
Well, what if it's shortened? Like the
Mag. No, nah, because I would look if I had a mag. Like if I had a mag mod, the tank can't be called mag because that's the part that's going in my mouth. You know what I mean?
I don't think the tank is called mag.
Well, then maybe but I don't really want that either because it's too close to my mouth.
Seems complicated.
Yeah, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing called Magnum or Mag or anything short for Magnum anywhere near my mouth.
You don't put magazines.
You ever played the game Mag?
Oh God, no. And it was one of those things to where it's like by the time I got ready to try to play, everybody had moved on. Like Chrome Hounds. Like,
so like I mean? 3 days after it came out, I get you.
Yeah. Like everybody got into Mag and then realized that we can't be as organized as the people who made this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody just kind of does their own fucking thing and like realized that like we're supposed to be a platoon. No, bitch, we not. We just
and the one pissed off 13-year-old who's like, I'm the commander. I have the highest KTT. Yes. You guys need to listen to me. God damn it.
I am the commander, and I think that Scarfinger guy's a nigger. I'm like, that's pretty much how that goes.
That's unfortunately, like, shit was wild in 2009, 2010. But yeah,
Well,
yeah,
to their defense, they were pretty equal opportunity. I got called it too.
I was gonna say, yeah, like everybody was just throwing out shit.
Yeah, I thought we should have adopted one word that we called everybody, and I suggested bitch to my friends.
I like bitch, yeah.
Yeah, like if we just call everybody a bitch, no one has to be offended because all of us are bitches.
Yeah, rolls off the tongue well, too.
Bitch.
You can, like, inflect it right. Yeah.
But then again, like,
there's
when I suggest...
There's girl gamers.
No, fuck her. She's a bitch too. If we all bitches,
own it. Too. Yeah, like,
but like the crazy part about it is when I suggested it, I had a few white friends, and one of my white friends was just like, yeah, but like when you say it, it sounds different than when we say it.
That's not completely true. Going back to Freddy Krueger, that was his favorite line, was bitch. Like, he'd always flip a bitch.
Just like in Rick and Morty when he was like that character.
Terry.
Just like a scary Yes.
I never
bitch every other word.
I've never watched Rick and Morty. I have a thing about animation these days. I don't know what it is.
Rick and Morty is great.
Yeah, you need to invest in some animation.
Everyone says that, but I just can't. And I have Hulu, and I know it's there. And I just never like. I don't know. I'm surprised that I actually got into My Hero. I don't know what it is. I have a thing about animation. I just don't really dig animation.
No,
in most cases,
some weeaboo out there is just flipping shit on you. Upended the table. He's like, oh my god!
If they actually listen to the show, they know that I am not a fan of like JRPGs. Anime is not my deal. I think it's fucking weird that like I'm in a couple of black nerd groups and it's basically like we niggas who like anime, but not like any other of the black experience. It's just like you post something else about anything else black related and you get like nothing. You post something anime related and it's like 1,000 comments. And it's like, well, like, are we black nerds or are we just black people who like anime? Like, I don't understand this.
You can't be both. Have you seen?
I'm going to tell y'all something that I saw today. And this was in one of the black nerd groups. Someone posted a picture of a PlayStation controller and pointed at a button and said, do you call this the box or the square button?
Who calls it a box?
Exactly.
There's a box button.
And people have been posting, like, I've always called it the box. And people called the plus, the X button, the cross. And it's like,
that's weeb shit.
Yeah.
No, man, you didn't know it's always called the cross. I mean,
yeah,
Jesus.
the only time I've ever heard the square button called a box is when someone pointed out in a meme that in the PlayStation controller there's an Xbox 360. Like there's an X, there's a box, and there's a circle. Like that's the only time I've ever heard of it called a box.
God, the Microsoft people need to get better jokes. Holy shit, no wonder we're losing in the console wars.
Hey, you guys on the Xbox controller, what do you guys call these two buttons?
I still call it the
select and start.
I still call it the start button and back button. Yep, I absolutely.
With my daughter, I call it the dual box and the 3 lines.
No, I don't even know.
You know what they're actually called for this controller?
Huh.
This one makes sense. It's called the menu button. But this one's called change view. And it makes sense of what it looks like. But
Okay.
No, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's select and start.
from what it looks like, it makes sense.
It's the select and start or the start button and the back button, whichever one you want to call it.
Yeah, that's what I call it.
I didn't even start using an Xbox 360 controller until I built my gaming PC, and I needed a controller for it. And I had an old Xbox 360 that somebody gave me, and I never used it, but it had a controller in there. So I'm like, oh, it's got a USB connector. So I'm like, I bet I can use that. And of course, it has the setup configuration in Steam and stuff to use a 360 controller. So I started using that. But before that, I was always just PlayStation or Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, and don't let Microsoft lie to you. They'll tell you on that 360 controller the select button's called the back button. It's not. It's called select.
See, I call it the back button or the select button. Surprisingly, my child knows what I'm talking about. We'll be playing a game or I'll be helping her with something and I'll just like press start now. She knows exactly what to press at this point.
So my daughter knows start, but yeah, when she's like, what button do I push? I'm like, I don't know, dual box or 3 lines. I don't know. She's like, okay.
No, the weird shit.
We got multiple Xboxes.
The weird shit. If you're on the Xbox One and you play a 360 game, you have to press them both to do the 360 menu shit. That is fucking weird.
Did you know that like once a month I tell someone that and they're like, holy shit, that's how you get that to show up. Like I have people who seriously didn't know that was implemented into the 360 back compat because they push the Xbox button and you get the one menu.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to press both of those because for some reason, every time I play a 360 game, I still have a message from somebody that I can't get to fucking go away. So every time I press that menu, it says, you got a message. And I'm like, well, I went through all of these and I don't have a fucking message, you assholes. Can you please stop telling me I have a message?
Turns out you won like a lifetime supply of Microsoft shit. You just haven't read the message yet, and Xbox is just waiting for you. Actually, they've already given it away. I don't know how to tell you, but
did you upgrade to an Xbox One controller, or are you still using the 360 controller when you want to use a controller on the PC?
You're asking me?
He's talking to Matt, but he didn't properly address Matt, so Matt didn't know that he was being talked to.
Well, he was the one that was talking about it.
Controller. I don't have an Xbox One.
Okay. Yeah, because I know that it doesn't work great. Like if you use a 360 controller on something like Assassin's Creed Origins, it doesn't work as good because it's a current gen game. You know what I mean? And that's
Ubisoft doing their Uplay shit. But I will say a majority of games, the 360 can still be probably the most ideal controller. I switched to one because I have an Elite controller, so I prefer to use it on both PC and on. Yeah.
I spent $100 for customizable buttons. Like,
no, I didn't. It was at a mom and grop shop for $75. I picked that shit up on wholesale.
That's kind of like how I did with that fucking when I first started PC gaming. I spent like I got a fucking open box special on a fucking Sidewinder stick, and that.
I'll give Microsoft credit though. The rubber started coming off on my Elite controller, and someone was like, well, isn't there a warranty on it? I said, I bought it used. He's like, they don't know that. Just ask them. And believe it or not, those controllers have serial numbers. And so I turned it in and they were like, yeah, this qualifies. And I turned it in and they gave me a whole new controller.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. So Microsoft was cool about that. So it turns out warranties actually do exist if you'll take the time to call them.
The rubber on my PlayStation thumbsticks is going away, and I thought that like
Sony
buying the things to go over, I thought that placing the rubber things on top of it would make it help, and it didn't. Like it's just no. So. And like you can't really buy a off-brand PlayStation controller. Like I rarely use my PlayStation, so I don't really want to spend $50 or $60 fucking dollars on a new controller. Like that's not what I want to do. So like you don't really have a choice. Like you buy this PlayStation controller or fuck you. So like I just don't use my PlayStation.
You can get that crazy dongle that lets you use Xbox One controllers on a PlayStation.
I used to have a cross battle for my PS3, and I loved it. I loved using my 360 controller on the PlayStation, except for the confusion of the X button, or the cross button. But see, here's the thing. I played Uncharted with my 360 controller and fucked up my right bumper because, of course, some asshole didn't make shooting with the fucking triggers, and you had to shoot with R1 or the right bumper if you're using not that controller. And yeah, I fucked up my bumper by using my cross battle on my PS3.
I can see that. See that. So
I mean the triggers on the PS3 controller was shit. So
yeah, I actually bought those little fucking extender things, those little plastic things that you put on it to make it more those things,
real triggers,
make it more like triggers. Like I bought those things. And
fun fact, I got these as like a review copy for back when I was reviewing for website. And I remember a year afterwards, someone was like, Fred, I was looking over your traffic. He goes, did you know that your fucking Real Triggers review, $5 plastic tabs that people could just buy to try them out instead of read your review, has the most views on this site for your written work? It's like, that makes sense. Second place was Afro Samurai. So
I looked at my painting videos, and like my most watched painting video is like something that I did just some random shit that I just had. Like, I was like, you know what? I am making like 3 paintings right now. So in the middle of the 2 that I kind of fucked up, I just kind of decided to wing it with one of them, and is my most viewed video by far, and my most viewed on my regular YouTube account is like, well, first of all, like my marching band videos are like fucking crazy. But you know, like crazy to me, like it got like over 10,000, which is like fucking mega for me. But like this one video where I was leaving and the visiting band was leaving also. So I just pulled out my phone and I just recorded them leaving. And by far, that is my most watched video. Like it's not even fucking close. Like it's like, I mean, it's thousands ahead of the second one.
Yep.
Which is also a marching band video.
I did something like that, and I did when I was first setting up a YouTube channel, I realized that I had already set one up years ago for a different email. And then when I set up the YouTube channel, I was like going through and I'm like, I already have a YouTube channel. And then I looked at it, and it was a video that I had made to how to unlock a cell phone for a cell phone carrier. And I did this video just so that I could get like a free access to this website. They said, make a video and then we'll give you free access to this for like a year or something, so that you can unlock cell phones for like a year on this website. So I did a quick video on how to unlock it using their little, code or tool or whatever it was. And then I posted on there. It was just a blurb about their website, how basically I go to this website whenever I want to unlock a cell phone. And that was it. It was like I go to this website when I want to unlock a cell phone, and this video had like 6,000 views or something. And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna tell you. I just pulled up my stats for my regular YouTube, and in the last 28 days, that video that I posted on October the 11th, 2015, has been watched 190 times. Like, what is it about this one fucking video? I don't get it.
The marching band walking away.
Yeah,
and
all of my top videos are marching band videos. None of my other content is anywhere near anything, and it's fucking weird. I don't understand it.
See, this is why you shouldn't trust the internet. Right there, we've just proven it.
Yeah, you really should.
Look what people be watching.
Yeah, so that video has 26,000 views.
There you go.
The next one is another marching band video. It has 12,000.
See?
And like I said, I was leaving.
That's the marching band enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Just like the cell phone unlocker enthusiasts.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So Matt, what's your let's change because Matt hasn't got his most embarrassing album out yet.
Oh, I was trying to think of that, and I was like probably the most embarrassing is that how I joined like Columbia House when I was like 10 or 11, and I got the like 12 CDs for a penny.
That's how I ended up with that Puddle of Mud album.
And I had gotten all these CDs, and I don't remember exactly which ones they were, but I don't know what the most embarrassing one would be, like, because I got everything that I thought that I liked at the time, which was mostly like, classic rock and like heavy metal and stuff like that. I just, those are probably embarrassing in themselves, just that if I look back, because I don't listen to that stuff anymore, but like, it's hard to pin one down. I guess I probably got some kind of pop, something that I really wasn't into at the time, but I was like, I'm going to check this out, but I don't know. It's like, can't really pin anything down.
He just doesn't want to say Nickelback.
It's like weird to look back and think, what did I listen to?
He just doesn't want to say Nickelback. Like, that's what it is. He doesn't want to say Nickelback.
The Macarena single.
I've never been into Nickelback.
Come on, we all like Nickelback initially.
Yeah, just a couple animals.
We all like Nickelback initially. The same kind of way we felt about Creed. Like we all like.
Well, Nickelback cracks me up because it's like everybody. I even heard you guys talking about it last week, and it was like everybody hates them. 25 million CDs sold. It's like everyone's hiding one in their house.
Right. we all have it. It's just none of it. It's like there's a comedian guy that says like most people can tell you what piss tastes like, but no one wants to tell you how they know. Like that type of thing. Like most of us can tell you what the Nickelback album sounds like, but no one wants to tell you how they know.
What the morning show guy puts it on. It's on the radio. What am I supposed to do? Change it while I'm driving?
Okay, so we did a lot of talking and we never really got into any consumption. Like, would you rather just like me and Chase can talk about consumption later, and we could just let y'all riff, or do y'all want to just keep doing what we're doing?
Matt, I'm gonna leave it up to you. I don't care either way. I can riff on whatever, or I can go into consumption. I'm cool either way.
So, what's your definition of consumption?
Like the games that you played, movies and TV that you've watched, like that type of thing. I does anyone watch The Boys? I haven't seen it yet. I've seen a preview of it, but it's as far as I got. A lot of people are tweeting about it. The Boys is super fucking dope. The new season came out, and these assholes, fucking Amazon. They put the last show out all in one shot. This time they put the first 3 episodes out, and they're going to release the rest of them every Friday. Mm-hmm. Which I hate. I fucking hate that shit.
They saw that work elsewhere, and they were like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. And that really kind of pisses me off because I really want to figure out what happens. But yeah. Yeah, we don't binge watch shows here. Like me and my wife, like we watch like one episode every other day. It was really difficult for me to get through Umbrella Academy season 2 because I really wanted to watch like every episode right away. Like I wanted to watch it because every episode is a cliffhanger and it just leaves you hanging and you're like, what the fuck? I want to know. So here's what I do. I go ahead and watch the shit anyway, and then I watch it over with my girlfriend. Like, I just go ahead and watch the shit anyway. Like, it's like if I don't watch it, I watch the Umbrella Academy in less than like I watched like the first half and then went to sleep, woke up and watched the rest. Like I did that. It took us like 3 weeks to get through it.
I can't. I'm with you, Matt. I can't binge watch. I physically can't do it.
I love binge watching. Like I'll binge watch the shit out of something. Oh, Cobra Kai is on fucking Netflix. Do that shit. But you have to have at least a little bit of memory of the first movie to make the first season matter. And then there's a part of the second season that talks about the second movie a little bit and a little bit of the third movie. So if you understand what happened in those movies, like you'll have a better understanding. I haven't seen the second or third movie in probably 10 plus years, but if you've seen it before, movie I saw, like my wife put it on like a month ago and it was just on in the background, but I ended up sitting there like watching it like I don't remember this, I remember the wax.
Daniel LaRusso's an asshole. I forgot.
And during season 2, he was talking to some kids who are like he's talking to his kids who are very anti Cobra Kai, and he has to go like, I was Cobra Kai for a little bit. Like he has to like explain to his kids, like I fell victim to this too. So like we can't really hold this against these people because this has happened. This has happened to me too. But like, so you don't really have to like watch the movie, but you have to understand that like he did go to the dark side for a little bit. And, so when he explains it, but like the first season is 100% about the first movie. 100%. It starts off with an alternate angle from the first movie, from that last fight. Is an alternate angle, which basically, like, you know, like, cause when you watch the first movie, it's like that fucking crane kick is like super fucking triumphant. And like, but like you go to the alternate angle and you see what the fuck that shit actually did to Johnny. And you're like, oh, I don't feel so good about this anymore. And that's
no, I've seen Cobra Kai season 1 and no, I know how you feel. Yeah.
That's how it starts. And like the cool thing about Cobra Kai, and I know I talked about this at the time because I binged both seasons. I watched it. Well, the first season I started while I was at work. Like it was a slow day at work. Started watching it. It's only like 5 hours. Like, you know, like because it's a whole bunch of short episodes because it was a YouTube show. And it's only like 5 hours. So like I started it at work and I was like, yo, I'm really fucking feeling this shit. So I got off work, went home, you know, got myself straight, sat down and I watched the rest. And then like when season 2 came out, I just sat down and I watched season 2 straight through, like no breaks. Like I watched the whole thing. But yeah, I hope that they can come out with the 3rd season sometime soon. Cause, I know that it's filmed, but you know, due to COVID, like they can't do reshoots and stuff like that. And so it's pretty much delayed to next year. But like, if you haven't watched Cobra Kai is so fucking dope. Like, and like most people don't know because it was a fucking YouTube show. Now it's on Netflix. Fucking do that shit. Like, do that shit.
Yeah, I had no idea because like I've seen people tweeting about it and I'm like, Cobra Kai, what is that? You know, I didn't even associate it with that movie and I just didn't think about it. And I was like, I wasn't like a huge fan of the original movies because I always looked at Karate Kid was like the fake martial arts movies because I'm big into like the Hong Kong action films and the Kung Fu theater and stuff like that from the early 80s and late 70s and stuff that just, you know, and Wu-Tang Clan and, you know, all this stuff, you know. So I like those original, like the early Jackie Chan films and stuff where it's like, that's martial arts to me, you know, or it's choreography. You know, there's a lot of choreography going into these movies that have a lot of these heavy martial art themes to them. And I like that because it's just, you know, it seemed like there was a lot of that theater involvement with the characters that there wasn't like extra stuntmen thrown in, you know, like other action movies made in Hollywood. They do these films and it's like the actor, you know, kind of like with The Matrix, you know, like Keanu Reeves and stuff had to learn a lot of these martial art moves from Yuen Ping, who was filming these things or helping with the, you know, the directors film it. So it's like, I like that when they have to learn the martial arts. And I
watched they came out with a documentary behind the scenes things, 2 different ones about The Witcher TV show. And like, you know, like he did all of his own stunts. And like, it's some cool shit knowing that that's really him. Like, you know what I mean? Even though there's a part where I was just kind of like, yo, for real, that's how y'all do this. There was one part where it shows the behind the scenes of one of the fights and you realize he's fighting with half a sword. They put the rest of the sword in post-production and I'm like, come on, dog.
Because when it's got to cut through it. But come on, Henry Cavill's so dreamy. Did you see him build a computer? Come on.
The funny thing about Henry Cavill is like, he got so buff for that fucking TV show that they said that he was breaking the wardrobe by just his sheer body. Like he was breaking, like how the fuck do like just moving in leather breaks leather? Like leather doesn't just break. That's the reason why they make belts out this shit. It just doesn't break.
Look, he was Superman before that. He was pretty cut.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, he. Yeah, as somebody who read the Witcher books, which is what they're based off of, I've read 3 of them so far. Which, fun fact, lots of season 1 of The Witcher is in that in the first 2 books. The behind the scenes stuff, they say that they wanted to go to the books and not to any other part of this. They wanted to go straight. The kind of what they do is mostly coming out of the books. But yeah, the video games are like 100 years afterwards. And I say that having played all the games as well. But But yeah, like I said, a lot of these shows have cool like content depending on, you know, what you get into, but I'm with Matt. I can't binge watch, so it takes me a while. For example, The Witcher. Everyone's like, "Have you seen The Witcher?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, fuck. I'm the only person I know who has played the whole trilogy through. Like, yeah, I've played. I've read the books. Of course, I'm gonna watch it. But it takes me 2 weeks. It takes me 2.5 weeks. I gotta get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played the whole trilogy, but I did play 1 and 2. Or not 1 and 2, but 2 and 3.
That's most people. Most people play 2 and 3. It's kind of the Witcher series is very much like Killzone in that aspect. Like, no one, who the fuck is actually play Killzone 1? Like, for real? Like, I mean, of course you have, but like, you didn't even have to read.
You don't need to go back. You're good. You're fine. Yeah. Just go to Killzone 2. I actually kind of say the same thing about for Witcher 3 people who are like really into Witcher 3. They're like, oh, I'm going to go back to 2. I'm like, you're probably good. 2 is a little hard to go back to if you liked 3. Like,
yeah, because I always thought like when I played Witcher 2 and I was telling people, dude, this game's awesome. Like, and you know, everyone I thought was like, oh yeah, I believe you, but you know, whatever. And it was kind of like an old whatever. Like it, and then when Witcher 3 came out, I didn't get it right away. And everyone's like, Witcher 3. I was like, dude, I was telling you guys this. But then when I played Witcher 3, I was like, oh, yeah, this is much better. But,
waypoints in Witcher 2 are hard to find, and they consolidate things in weird spots. Like, it's just hard to, you wander around in that second chapter once you're at like the Dwarven town, and it's just very meticulous.
I fucked myself up with that game. Well, 3 games I really fucked myself up with. The Witcher 2, that Lord of the Rings game, the action game. What the fuck? The first one,
Mordor.
Yeah.
Oh, Shadow of Mordor.
Mordor, and fucking and the most recent God of War game, and
God of War.
All 3 of those games. You have to say the most recent God of War.
I know, I'm just kidding.
God of War, people will think it's God of War.
You don't know where to go in the first one?
No, see what had happened was each of those I played strong a few hours in the initial session. For The Witcher 2, I played that intro because I played part of that intro at PAX East, and I was like, yo, I gotta buy this game. So when it came out on 360, I was like, yo, I'm about this life. I got through the intro, and then I put it down, and like something came up, and I didn't really go back for like a week. And then like I'm in the town where everything just kind of opens up, and I'm like, I have no fucking idea what to do. I'm just gonna turn this shit off. And that happened to me in each of those games where I was just like, I don't remember what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing here. And for God of War, I just fucking looked up a fucking YouTube video telling me what the fuck happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, you know what? I really want to know what happened here. And I don't know where to pick, where I'm supposed to pick up from and what I'm really supposed to do. So you know what? I'm just going to look this shit up.
Like that shit at the end where Atreus gets revealed as Atreyu and Falcor comes out of nowhere and they fucking go against the Never. Like, that's awesome.
Yo, I seen somebody doing a cosplay as Atreyu, and then they had like a horse head that they just put it on the ground, and they just put it on the ground, and like whatever convention they were at, the carpet was like brown and striped. So it was brown, and he was just like pulling at the rope. It looked fucking hilarious.
I love people who really commit to their cosplay, and because they'll wait for the right moment and then just drop and act like they're sitting there in the swamps of sadness as Artax goes down.
The only cosplay I want to do, I am already prepared to say the line over and over again. The only cosplay I can really do is Coach from Left 4 Dead 2. Like, I want that whole thing, and I perfected. We ain't got time for this, Ellis. I'm like, I've already perfected. We ain't got time for this, Ellis. And so I really need to commit to that. Next time I decide to go to one of these gaming conventions, I am going to get, like, even if I got to just wear like a LSU poster Solo. Like I'm gonna fucking do that shit, and I'm gonna get the gloves, put some blood on the gloves and tape them and put the little backpack on, and I am going to.
Well, then I'm going to have to do Ellis.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You are totally Ellis. Like, let's be honest. Like, what happened last episode is we ain't got time for this, Ellis, the show. Like, that's exactly what happened.
Well, so real quick, if you don't mind me switching gears on one of my consumptions, I said something that a lot of people can't see right now, which is the New Mutants, because I live in an area where personal safety and regulations don't fucking matter. And so theaters are open and let's go. And AMC actually, what I like about what they're doing around here is AMC is doing a thing where basically when you buy your tickets, they block out every seat around you. So you've got this little bubble around you. And so we went and saw the New Mutants, and for the record, all those safety precautions, they're working, but they're not working because like nobody was in this movie. We were in an IMAX and there were like 7 people, 3 of which is my family out of like 200 seats. But anyway, we went and saw the New Mutants, and I've been waiting for this movie to come out because it was filmed like 3 years ago, and it's been R-rated before, and now it's PG-13, and you can totally fucking tell when you watch that movie where they cut the scenes. But to my surprise, I was pleased with that movie. That movie's cool.
I saw a review, and they basically said, like, don't go into this thinking it's an X-Men movie. It is a horror movie.
So it's a horror movie. It's one part horror movie. It's one part Breakfast Club. And yeah, and it's a small portion, a sequel to Logan. And I'm not going to get much more into that, but if you've seen Logan, a lot of the things that happen in this are going to make a lot more sense. And I did not know that. And my wife and I watched Logan the night before we went and saw this movie. We also took my daughter to see it, my 8-year-old daughter. She's almost 9 though. And she didn't like horror movies.
To be honest, like just saying any movie is, well, it's a horror movie that's also like The Breakfast Club. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm in.
Yeah. There's also fun, crazy like references throughout that, or like they're obsessed with watching Buffy, old episodes of Buffy, and they know which episodes to put on. Because if you watched Buffy, you're like, okay, like that.
Buffy's my favorite TV show, so like I don't want you to say nothing crazy.
Yeah,
even though I guess we're not supposed to like Joss Whedon right now, but like I'm gonna need you to not go too far.
No. But I like Buffy. Here's what I'm saying. When you see the New Mutants, which you should see it, you don't have to see it in theaters. I understand people don't feel comfortable with that, or your theaters aren't open. So it'll come home. When you see it at home, what I tell people is like, get your top 3 Buffy episodes in your mind, and then watch that movie and tell me you don't see at least one of them. Like they know which episodes to put randomly on the TV when that's on. But yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised by it. What was even funnier, if you're a New Mutants reader, is you see how do I say this? You see the decisions they made as to whom to be who, and they don't exactly follow the comics at all. And so when I was done, I pulled up the shots of the New Mutants, and I was like, yeah, so come here, hon. Let me show you what these people looked like in comic form.
Did they do the Dynamo 5 thing where like they changed they matched the power to the wrong person on purpose?
Oh, okay.
Have you ever read Dynamo 5?
I have not. No.
Okay. Dynamo 5, one of my favorite comic series that when I was actually reading comic books. Basically, their version of Superman is a whore, like a straight whore. He dies on one of his sexual escapades, and there's a void because Superman is not there. So Superman is not there anymore. So his wife finds his little black book and tracks down kids that he's made out of wedlock. So she does the thing. She gets them together and she does the thing to activate their powers. And they each have one of his powers. Okay. But it's weird because the football player gets the mind control powers. Like, this is not like, this is Superman on steroids. This is like worse than like Superman, because like this dude can shapeshift, all kinds of shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, in this one guy, he can shapeshift. He got all of the Superman powers. He got mind control powers, like all this shit. Like he has all of this, but like each of these children have one of his powers, but they switch it up. Like the girl has the super strength. You know what I mean? Like, okay. and then because he can shapeshift, like he shapeshift, and he was something different to each of these women. So like they don't, you know, like I don't think most of them didn't even know that fucking Captain Dynamo was their fucking father. Like they've grown up their whole life with this dude in their life and just find out that that's not their actual father. Right. And then like, you know, like, so then like the one of the girls gets the flight. The black dude is a whore like his father, and he gets the shape shifting ability. So that makes him worse. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. And it was just like them coming to grips with the fact that not only, is like, our parents, not our actual parents. I mean, our father's not our actual father, but like our father was fucking Superman. And now we have one of each of these powers. But in order for us to take up the mantle of who he was, we all have to figure out how to do this shit together, because he was one man that could do all of this. We are people that we had no idea about each other until now. So like, right. It's that type of thing. And so like, I really dug that.
So they don't quite do that, but I will say they play with your perceptions if you've read the comics, is okay. What I will say. And they
I never read. I mean, I've read a lot of X-Men and stuff like that, and I've got a pretty huge collection of original like Wolverines and stuff like that. A lot of Marvel comics, but some X-Force and some stuff like that, but just never got into New Mutants. And when I saw the movie was coming out, I was like, I wonder if this is going to be better than all of the previous made X-Men movies that had nothing to do with the comics, that were, you know, just had little similarities here and there. But for the most part, it's like there was no continuity with the comics. And, you know, they're always reintroducing some new characters and stuff, you know, that they just, I guess, make up on the fly. And, you know,
sure. Like it's like the Walmart brand of, or the Kmart brand of a character, you know, from X-Men.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of good X-Men movies.
I watched one. I actually watched one last week. I watched Days of Future Past last week.
Yeah, well, that's the best one. So.
Yeah.
Actually, you think Days of Future Past is better than the first movie? Cut? Is it the road cut? No, it wasn't. I watched it on. I watched it on Disney Plus. They got access to the.
They got access to the road cut on there.
Yeah, they got access to the X-Men movies, except for Dark Phoenix is not there.
Well, yeah, shit. If you want that, you pay a premium. Buy that 4K Blu-ray. But anyway, the New Mutants was, like I said, it was good. It's not an X-Men movie. Like it's not supposed to be. They are mutants, sure, but it's not quite. And then I guess, yeah, I just don't even want to. I'm not going to get into any of the plot, but I guess to a certain extent, it's more an X-Men movie than any of the other ones. You know what I mean?
We're sparing the rest of them because I've already been spoiled. Because I'm like, I'm never going to watch this movie, so I might as well just watch a full spoilerific review.
Okay, I mean,
but we'll spare the rest of them.
The plot's not huge. It's really how it unfolds. And again, I have to give it a lot of credit as a horror movie. Like that's right. Like if I told you, Scar did it earlier. If I told you what happens in Friday the 13th Part 4, right? Like you're like, oh okay, yeah. So in this scene, check this shit. Okay, he just like shows up and he sticks a fucking knife through this girl's throat while she's eating a banana, bro. And you're like, okay, cool. And then rinse repeat for the rest of the movie. But when you see it, it's the delivery. It's how it all comes about. And I really think that that's a large part of this. So I don't know. Dare I say it? There's like character development in this that's not like soap opera style, and I think that's what works. But yeah, I mean, And again, it is borrowing a little from the Whedonverse, not just because it features those things. It's that storytelling style, that Monster of the Week storytelling style. So they do a good job with it, in my opinion. I also went into this with zero expectations. So I'm curious to see what they do with the R-rated cut, but I don't think they pulled anything from the undertones. You can just tell where certain scenes were shortened, and that was probably to get it from R to PG-13. So,
or they had to do something so they can sell a unrated or R version later.
Oh yeah, I feel pretty confident there's going to be an R-rated cut on the Blu-ray.
Didn't they do the opposite with Deadpool 2?
No, Deadpool 2, they did the same thing, but like they made huge fun of it. They took Deadpool 2 and cut it into a PG-13 movie called Once Upon a Deadpool.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They did the opposite.
With like bad parody of Princess Bride.
They didn't release they released the real version first, and then they went back and released the PG version.
I would say the closer reverse is that shitty. Have you guys heard of this movie? It's called The Justice League. Yeah, that was a PG-13 movie, and then they released an R-rated version, which nobody asked for. And that's like, you know, next thing you know, the director's going to come out and do his own cut and turn it into like a mini series or something.
But that's par for the course of Superman, like Superman 2. Like
but the Richard Donner cut's okay. I see what they were doing.
I understand it, and it makes you. There's things about the Donner cut that makes way more sense than what we actually got. Mm-hmm. It's like
I'll give you that.
How the fuck did we get here? Oh, because this shit was cut out. Okay, I got you. That type of thing, and then the fact that you know the. And then the whole thing about Superman Returns. That's one of those things that, like, sometimes, like, with the New Mutants, you got to say, like, it's kind of a horror movie. Like, you got to set someone's expectations as going to see it, the same way that you had to do with Superman Returns. So a friend of mine said, "Dog, it's a love story." Like, and I went, okay, I'll lower my expectations. He was like, "Dog, it's a love story, but it has
it's not about God.
It has a real weird. It has a real. It's really weird love story, but it's a love story because, like, you know,
Man Steel, sorry.
Like this chick has no idea that she had sex with Superman, and she has a kid, and she doesn't remember that at all. So to her, she might have gotten raped. Like, who the fuck knows? Because she has a kid by Superman and has no idea that she's actually had sex with Superman.
How do you not know you've had Superman? To quote Brody Man from Mallrats,
because
in the like a shotgun.
because in the Donner cut, when he got his powers back, he kissed her and did something to her, and she forgot all of that.
Right.
So and that's in the Donner cut. Yeah. If you
that's
don't
why
know,
they kicked him off, though. They're like making a fucking love story out of Superman.
Yeah. So like if you do, the only reason why that makes sense is if you've seen the Donner cut. If you've never seen the Donner cut, then that whole thing, it just comes off very rapey.
It does. I'll give you that. What I will give the New Mutants, though, was I do think that movie is fine as a PG-13 because it's not one of those things where the premise is kind of destroyed by it. Although there is this funny moment in the middle of the movie where my daughter suddenly realizes this is a horror movie. Wait, like there was just too many scenes where people end up in small asylum-like areas with nothing but shadows and shit be creeping up on them. And she's like, "Dad, is this a horror movie?" Like, and because she dug horror movies early into her life, and then she kind of grew out of them. But yeah, again, she enjoyed New Mutants, and again, I do think that movie's fine as a PG-13. I'm curious to see the R-rated cut, but I don't think it's going to add too much to it. I just think they're going to be extended more violent scenes. But yeah, New Mutants, I was pleasantly surprised. So I think they did a good job of comic book. It is also a good representation of comic book to screen, in my opinion. So, but yeah.
Do we? Okay, we're over time, but we had not talked about video games very much at all, and that's because I haven't really played very much. So
I haven't been playing much at all lately.
Yeah, I was really into playing the story mode of the UFC game and Madden, and then I really got back into Division 1. And then I just kind of stopped, and I just haven't really been back to any of it. My Xbox has barely been turned on. I am interested in a game. What's it called? Dungeons 3 or something like that. So one of the YouTube people that I followed started playing.
That's the one
game.
where it's like reverse Diablo, right? Where you build the dungeon.
Yes, and it's really is really hilarious. Like the narrator guy and like the constant and like self-referential jokes to like bringing up like, yo, we've already had this many Lord of the Rings references. Like, can we talk about something else? Like, and they're doing this, talking to each other between like the narrator and the main chick who you are. And then she has problems with herself because she's possessed with a demon spirit, but like then the nice side of her is there, and eventually those two sides of her have conversations with each other. Like and like the evil one is like, bitch, I thought you was gone. Like, you know, like that type of thing. It's like, why are you talking right now? Like, we ain't got time for you. Like that type of thing. It's really kind of funny. But so I kind of want to see what the Xbox version is on that one. I know it's not going to compare, but I don't really want to play any games on my PC. So.
So you're waiting for that holiday release of Gears Tactics. You want to be playing it on no PC, huh? No?
I have actually.
The Division 2 has made him mad about his PC.
So are you talking about Crusader Kings 3 or are you talking about Dungeons 3? Dungeons 3 came out like a while ago. Crusader Kings 3 just came out.
But Dungeons just came out with a new version about a month or so ago.
Okay.
With that, one of those, like, it includes all the DLC and all that kind of stuff. And that's why this YouTube guy I follow started playing it. And I was like, yo, that seems like it's kind of fun. You know me, I like RTSs. Like, sometimes I like RTSs, in like strategy games and stuff like that. And like, so I'm cool with that. But I don't, you know, I'm not going to pay a grip for it, but it'll be fun to play. They should put that shit on Game Pass.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Did you see that Destiny 2 has just like become the new, like, get this day one Series X thing that they're pushing hardcore right now?
Yeah, they ain't got no choice, but like,
I say that as a big Microsoft fan too. I'll be getting Series X day one if I can. But
I don't plan on buying either day one, but I am buying an Xbox first. Because last generation or current gen, I bought the PlayStation first, and that was one of my biggest regrets.
Okay. I'm down with subscription over not, because I experiment with a lot of games. So, because like the games I've been playing right now was, you know me, I'm insane because I like to go back and play retro games. So I hate this franchise that people pretend to like. It's this knockoff of the Ninja Turtles called the Battletoads. And like, those are not good games. No, fuck you. Those are not good games. The NES game's stupid. It didn't get better when it came to Genesis. Battle Maniacs on SNES is a joke.
I'll be right back.
Even when they merge with Double Dragon. Nah, they're all terrible. And the arcade game's okay, but it's not like a good walk to the right, beat everything up in your path brawler. So they made a new one, and it's on Game Pass, thank God. And so I was like, okay, I'll go back and replay all these games to see if I still feel that way, and I do. And then I started the new one. And it just blows my mind how people who design Battletoads games, it's not rare anymore, and they still can't figure out, like, what makes a good video game, because they do three things you should never do. One, it's a brawler, so it's a walk to the right, beat people up, with complex multi-button combinations to do moves. So, like, it's not just spam a button to hit people. You can't do that in this game. You actually have to, like, hold right trigger, push left stick in one direction, and then press a button to do things. And
do you like River City Ransom?
Yes, I did. So I do like brawlers, and I did like River City Ransom Underground. So, but yeah, no, Battletoads. And then they do, you ready for the next thing they do is checkpoints in a brawler. And if you die, you go back to the checkpoint. There's no extra life. So now you're doing brawlers where you die and go back to a checkpoint. That's real dumb. Then co-op's not fun. You're fucking yourself over because it's taken away one of the toads, which you're allowed to rotate between the toads. Remember the old NES Ninja Turtles game, which was terrible because you rotate to the 4 turtles and then you'd be fucked because you get to the end of the level and everyone's got no life and there's 4 of them. Same thing here. That's what you actually do. You rotate the 3 battle toads and they just sit on the sideline with no life. And then when you rotate them in, it's just like boom, 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 you're dead. And then you're back to the checkpoint, which was 20 minutes ago. Oh, the game is dog shit. And it's horrible because the cutscenes are funny and the writing's not bad. It's actually kind of amusing. The game's not good, though. The game's not good, so thank God it's on Game Pass.
I haven't seen anybody really talk about it much at all.
It's because with Game Pass, there's no reason to review it because nobody cares. You just play it.
Yeah,
and that's what I like though. Like Game Pass allows this shit to come out.
That's why like when people like talk shit about Halo and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of like, I don't really have to care. Like I don't have to care. I have Game Pass. I pay for Game Pass Ultimate, and I never plan on playing anything on PC. I just did it because it came with Xbox Live. So like, and like, you know, people are just going off. I mean, Halo got delayed. Okay, fine. When it comes around, I'll play it. The same way I felt about Gears. Like, same way I felt about Gears. Like, I recently just finished Gears 4. Like, you know what I mean? Because I never had to care because Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and that's kind of the prospect, and that's why, like I say to people, like without getting on too much of a diatribe, that's why I say to people in the next gen, that's why I'm down for Game Pass. Like I've got Game Pass and I'll pay for the subscription. Sony's like, no, trust me, this game's good. It's 600 hours long and you got to pay $60 for it. And it's like, but what if I'm just not feeling Ghost of Tsushima right now? Well, I'm sorry, that's all we have to offer, so buy it, bitch. Like, and that's the problem. Whereas Game Pass, it's like, well, Battletoads is probably going to suck, and it does. But at least I got to try it. Now I get to go look for something else.
And just, hey, listen, we keep pretending like fucking like people talk about Sony's exclusives, and like people like every time I turn on my PlayStation, most of the people are playing the same third-party fucking games everyone else is. Like when when this shit comes out, like it's really hot for like a week or two, and then everyone goes back to playing fucking Madden and 2K and fucking Call of Duty and all of this, the same fucking shit that everybody else is playing. Like I don't understand why people keep trying to pretend like exclusives matter. They don't fucking matter anymore. They don't.
That's what. But it's back to what you said at the beginning of the show. Like it's back to the gamer cred, right? Like it's the reason why an impassioned person. I'd not had this happen to me in a long time. I was in a GameStop pre-COVID. This was probably like February of this year, and I'm buying a game on Xbox, and I'm like sitting there with the copy in my hand, and I'm just standing in line, and the guy behind me, all fucking coy like he was. Are you sure about that? Excuse me? Are you sure about that purchase? No, but it's $5.99, so I'll risk it. And he goes, no, I mean on an Xbox. You know, for $5.99, you can get that same thing in Team Blue. I'm like, please. Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. He goes, you don't own one yet? Let me talk to you. And I'm like, motherfucker, do you work for Sony? Like, it reminds me of that scene in Clerks. I'm like, do you work for Sony? Or are you just sitting in here, like, telling people? I don't know why. Sony's blowing everyone away in the competition. They've got tons of consoles sold. But, like, make no mistake about it, friends. There is one simple reason the PlayStation 4 was as popular as it was this generation. And I refuse to believe this from anyone else. It was $100 cheaper. And, yeah, it was more powerful. But that didn't have anything to do with it.
That is 100% the reason why I got a PlayStation first. When they both came out, I got a bonus during Christmas. My bonus was $400, not $500. I bought a fucking PlayStation.
And PlayStation was a stronger console. So it's like icing on the cake.
And And then we talk about these exclusives, but like, how long did y'all have to wait for these fucking exclusives while dealing with bullshit like Killzone fucking Shadowfall and fucking,
Knack.
and
Yeah.
Knack and fucking
That's
Drive
shit.
Club? Like, do you remember how fucking
Remember
terrible
how good
Drive Club?
was?
Like, fucking get the fuck out of here! Where they finally gave you the fucking game, but you had to pay extra for weather.
Yeah.
Like,
You want good weather? Here, let's go ask Gran Turismo how it's going. Hey, Gran Turismo Sport. Oh, it's not out.
Yeah.
I mean, it is now, but at the time it wasn't. So you have Drive Club. That's all you got. And Microsoft's over there with Forza, and we're like, calm down, Microsoft.
you know how you can tell a real Sony fanboy? They try to convince you that The Order is a good game.
Hey, The Order is a good game.
It is not a good game.
The Order's not bad. Okay, no, let me go back. This is back to what I said. The Order's, if I was reviewing that game, The Order's not a good game. But if I'm playing that game, I got a shit-eating grin on my face. I'm like, Lancelot, dude, no, you don't get it. Like, they're living forever, man. They got the fucking great. Anyway, no, like, The Order 1886 is big, dumb fun. Like, it is. But it was way more fun when it was $8 and it was on sale on PSN than it was at 60 when I bought it. It was way more fun at that price point. Trust me. And I think that's kind of what I'm harping home about. Right now, the game I'm playing, I hadn't played it yet, was Far Cry 4. I want to play Far Cry 5, but I'd played 1, 2, and 3. I have to do things in order. And I was like sitting there and I was like talking to my co-host about it. I was like, I want to play Far Cry 4. And then all of a sudden Ubisoft was like, they must have heard, because they were like, yo, on Xbox, here's Far Cry 4 with the season pass for $10. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And you know what? If I was reviewing that game is janky as shit on Xbox. It crashes like at least once a session. Don't care. I'm having the time of my life. Big dumb grin. Put 17 hours into it in a week. I haven't put 17 hours into video gaming in a week in a long time.
Yeah, that whole crashing thing, that's the reason why I ended up stopping playing Ghost Recon. Because it fucking crashes constantly.
Well, as Ubisoft doesn't know how to program for the Xbox. It's fine. It's the smaller console.
I mean, Division works fine. I have not had very much.
How is Division on PC? Because I just got that, and I've never played it before.
Don't ask Scar about how Division is on PC. It's fine on PC.
Great on PC.
My PC can't fucking run this shit. It's a fucking flip book. Once the game loads, it is a flip book. I go from, as soon as I start moving, it goes from 60 frames to teens.
You should stop moving then.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it.
You didn't do that shit though, where you maxed out everything and then you don't understand why.
No, I actually went to Blue found I don't know if it was Digital Foundry or somewhere like that, but they actually have like, these are the settings that you need to use if you have this kind of video card or that kind of video card. I had that kind of video card and it still didn't help me. And I changed everything they said, but my video card is just not good enough for this. And I don't have enough RAM, but all this other shit. Like, I don't really do a whole lot on my PC other than this at these days. And then like, if I want to play a PC game, I'm playing fucking RimWorld. Or like, I don't give a fuck about the rest of this shit. I can run.
Put a mag in his mouth, but he's all over RimWorld. Anyway. Sorry, I couldn't.
I already have to deal with Rashani every time I mention the shit. He says rim jobs, but like,
and RimWorld is fun. Like, well, the game you're referring to. But what I will tell you, Matt, is I might be the other end of the spectrum. I've got an i7. I think I have an 8700K, and I'm running an RTX 2080. But what I will say is Ubisoft does an incredible job, for the most part, on PC. Even one of the quote-unquote jankiest Ubisoft games out there was the original Watch Dogs. Ran like a dream for me. Like they do, I think Ubisoft does really good work on PC with their games.
Yeah, I've played Hyperscape a little bit, like when that came out, or it's like still in beta or something like that. But I noticed that the Division was free. Like they came out with a special promo or whatever, it was like before the end of this week or something. If you got on Uplay and downloaded it, it was free for a limited time. And so I went ahead and got it because I had heard some things about it, but I just didn't even really know what the game is about. And I'm like wondering if my PC can handle it. I'm sure it can. I've got a 1070 super clocked and a Ryzen 7 2700X. And like, I've got like 32 gigs of RAM, so I think I should be.
You'll be
right.
more than fine. If you're running a 1070, you have the GeForce experience. I know people laugh about it, but I'm not a big PC tweaker person. Like, I can see all the differences in the changes and whatnot, but I just usually just trust it. Yeah. I just launched the GeForce experience and let it optimize my game for me. And before I had the 2080, actually, your card is what I ran before. I was running a 1070 superclocked. So, and I think I even ran the Division on it. But yeah, you'll be doing just fine. But my recommendation is usually, like, a lot of Ubisoft games, especially Division or newer, you know, they'll auto set if you want them to based off of your card. And then I just cross-reference it with what the GeForce experience says, and then I usually just roll with it. The Division itself is an interesting game.
I love it.
Do you play it co-op, though? Like, single player is how I played it.
Oh, no, I played it.
That game gets a little long in the tooth if you're single player.
I definitely played most of it co-op. I did play some by myself, but I played most of it co-op because my cousin was on all the time, so he just wanted to play. I even have a whole basically I have a whole series of us playing, just kind of fucking around, going through the game. We started from scratch. With brand new characters, and I recorded everything and put it onto the YouTube page, the Geeks Gone Raw Universe YouTube page. And like, no one cares. But yeah, we started over, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, if you want to see basically me get carried, on the Division while running through the Division, basically mostly with just me and my cousin, and we say nigga a lot. So like, if you care about those things, then you care about watching the Division on the Geeks Gone Raw Universe YouTube page.
There you go. Matt, if you're going to play solo, which you might, because it's been my experience with Uplay, like, I just don't have any friends who really play. So
I have it on PC, but
I play on Xbox. So like, if you have, did they ever release it on Xbox
Games with Gold? It just came out this week or this month. Yeah.
If the first game is on Games with Gold, I'm totally down to do that.
But which one were you wanting to get into? Because you started to try to get into Destiny, right? It'd be really hard to like do two of those type of games at once.
Yeah,
are they very similar
games?
Yeah,
I would say they're similar. Yeah,
they're very similar games, except for like one is a fantasy game and the other one was kind of more rooted in some sort of reality, especially when it comes to the
I've
weapons.
heard that the Division takes place on Earth, like modern times, and
no, it takes place during COVID. Like,
yeah, it really does. There's a virus that wipes everyone out,
and then you play police officers mowing down rioters. So
yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. But it's all gear based. Like, everything's about making the numbers go up. Am I right? Like, that's what the whole game is like. Oh shit, I can make the numbers go up.
But then you get to that. The part that I don't like about these games is that the end game grind, where like you like, that's kind of the thing where I played a ton of Diablo 3 on Xbox, but I never played a Diablo game before, and I kept going back and trying to find stuff about Diablo from people who played it. But it's like these people who are like super into the game, and they're talking about your builds and all of this kind of stuff, and I'm like, I don't fucking know about any of this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're talking about all of this like really high level shit, and I'm just like, yo, I don't really know how to play this game. Can someone help me figure out how to play this game? But like, all of these places are like, if you know what the fuck you're doing, like, this is how you make this build. And it's like, fuck out of here with that. But I at least got in the ground floor.
Kind of like how you don't know how to play Magic. You're just trying to learn how mana works, and someone's talking about fucking combos and shit.
Exactly.
I have discussed that many a times on my show, where the worst part about Magic is whenever you try to get someone to show you, they're like, "Oh yeah, here, let's take the 300 level course before you even know what the hell a card is and what it does."
It's like learning how to box from a professional boxer, and all they do is put you in the ring and punch you in the fucking face.
You know what? The biggest difference between The Division and Destiny, though, is The Division seems to have some competent writers on its lore. Oh, because Destiny doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
The Division, you're like, oh, I get what's going on. Yeah. New York virus, things are shitty, and then you find little recordings that are kind of icing on the cake. But yeah, Matt, when I played it single player, I struggled quite a bit to stay in for the long haul. Especially as you get near the end of that game and everyone becomes a bullet sponge, and you're really thinking, God, it'd be great if I had just like one person watch my back.
Yeah. It's like what you do, like with a game like The Division, if you're playing with someone and you have skills that complement each other, like one person is like, then you basically go into like, one is the DPS guy, one is the healer, and all of that kind of stuff. If you have those things where you kind of make your own classes by what skills you have, that game works out a whole lot better.
Yeah. I think a lot of the beef that people had with The Division when it first came out was the fact that it is a game like Destiny, right? With characters that have a health bar and hit points and all that stuff. But with like something like Destiny, it's a giant alien monster thing. You figure that's going to have a lot of health versus some dude with a hoodie. You're like, I should shoot him once and he's dead. What is happening?
Yeah, you will. You'll get some dude with a hoodie and like a fucking Glock 9, and he's got like 7 life bars in The Division, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And you'll have these big Mad Max Mohawk looking motherfuckers coming at you with shoulder pads and everything on, and those guys go down in one hit, and you're like, this makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like, this is the exact same guy, except for now he has a purple bar.
Yeah.
And the purple bar means he's the same guy, but he has armor on, but he looks exactly the fucking same. And then like, oh, this one has a gold bar. So that means he's more armored than the last guy. And it's like, but he looks the fucking same. He's just a guy in a fucking hoodie. Yeah.
I can't wait till we get those Kevlar hoodies in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
I just want that thermoptic camouflage they have like in Ghost in the Shell where you turn invisible, you know, like.
Yeah, I'm in. It's been long enough. We need that Predator tech.
They can't see this. They can't see this, but he totally found a way to reference his shirt. He made that shit work for him. Kudos. Like Rojas referenced his shirt. So like he found a way to reference his, and I applaud you, sir. I think we got to wrap this up because I think we're a little bit over. You know.
Yeah, I think my wife's going to be home soon.
Okay. Tell her I said hello.
I will.
His wife is the shit.
I believe you.
This is our 7-year anniversary today.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Happy anniversary. I saw that on Facebook.
Thanks.
I saw that on Facebook. That's dope. And so happy anniversary to you. Thank you both for being on the show. This is August extended, because, you know, Chase fucked up an episode but Matt wasn't here anyway, so fuck it. So this was supposed to happen.
It was my wife's birthday and Matt was camping.
Yes. So
good reasons.
So blame both of them why this didn't actually fit in August. And so again, this wraps up August. We really need to do August, April or some shit like that.
I vouch for the name be August, not August.
I like that.
No. No. And I am a fan of alliteration. So fuck that.
Why you be using big words, man?
I like alliteration. We don't. Is that a big word?
No, I don't think so. Although recently I was told by somebody that apathy. They're like, "Oh, what are you, a walking dictionary?" I said, "Apathy's a."
Yeah, and then you hit them with a word that they got to look up. Tell them that you're a sesquipedalian, and they have to look that up. And they're like, "That's not a real word." And then they start typing, and it was like, "Oh shit, that's a person who uses big words."
Did you feel like John Marston? Well, let me implore you, John Marston, with your big fancy words.
I can't. All right, so I think what are we doing? Are we going back to 2 weeks after this? So like the next show will be in 2 weeks from now?
Or we can just take off a month since we did a lot.
Fuck yeah, man! I am 100% down with that. I take off the rest of my birthday month. My birthday's on the 18th, by the way. Patreon.
Happy early birthday!
Thank you.
Yeah,
I gotta figure out what I want to buy. I've recently gotten into making candles. And I kind of want candle stuff.
I'll buy you a Hodge Twin shirt.
I'll smack the shit out of you, dog. If you ever do anything close to that, I will slap. I will drive. I know where you live. I will drive to your house and slap the fucking fire out of your ass for some dumb shit like that. All right, no, I'm kidding. I don't hate those guys. I just can't fuck with them. So, again, thank you everybody who's listening. We'll be back with another episode whenever. Yeah, it don't matter if we take a month off. Woo! Again, thank you, gents, Rojas and Matt for being on the show. Matt's wife is home, so he's about to get in trouble. So you have a good night, sir. It's your anniversary, so you about to get the good stuff tonight. So
he's in good spirits, so we gotta let him go.
He's grinning too. He started grinning for idiot. It's like
he goes to the shell shirt on. It's time.
The anticipation. The anticipation got him like grinning. The moment we heard her voice, he started grinning. He's like, "It's on and popping tonight. I don't even need no dick feels tonight."
She's like, she's gonna call me senpai tonight and everything.
All right, that's the show. Thank you again. This is sarcasm. I hate Chase's guts. Y'all have a good night. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Later.
Take it easy.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Look, I'm telling you, Walt. All right, I ain't gonna talk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could take a month off. Sounds good.
Nah, we don't have to. We could do the 2 weeks. I can wait 2 weeks, or we could do 3. Well, 3 weeks is basically the rest of the month.
You gotta run.
Yeah.
You gotta run. Just run.
Okay,
It's okay.
We'll figure that part out. Again, thank you, gents. I am going to. I really kind of want to start over The Witcher, so I'm probably going to start watching the TV show again, and I'm probably going to binge through half of that before I fall asleep tonight. So, good evening, gents. Thank you again for being on, and whenever y'all want to come on, just holler at your boys. We got you.
Well, Thank you for having me.
Peace, y'all.
No problem. Later.
Thanks. Later.
Have a good one.